them.
Live from the Northfield Ice Arena. Tonight we've got a great boys Big Nine Conference hockey game for you. The Northfield Raiders and the Owatonna Huskies. Only thing that's on the line is the Big Nine Conference Championship. They're celebrating 50 years of high school hockey in Northfield today, introducing a number of folks, including members of the team. They're out on the ice right now and still coming on to the ice here in Northfield. The Huskies and the Raiders. The Huskies are just 2 points behind Northfield in the standings of the Big Nine Conference with just a few games left in the season. I think if the Northfield Raiders win this game, they'll wrap up the conference title. Of course, if Owatonna wins, they would pull into a tie for first place. Remember, they go by points. They don't go by wins. They go by points. Northfield comes into this game with a record of 10-0 in the conference. They are 18-2 overall on the season. They are the number 8 rated team in Class A by Let's Play Hockey. The Owatonna Huskies, of course, are a Class 2A team, not a Class A team, but a Class 2A team, and they are 9-2 in the Big Nine. They're 13-8 overall, but as I said, you go by points. You don't go by wins or losses. And in the points, if the points are right on the website, the High School League website, if the points are right, Northfield has a 2-point advantage over Owatonna coming into tonight. I would assume this is a 2-point game. So if Northfield were to win, they would win the conference title. I guess I didn't look up to see if it is a 2-point game. But just a couple of games are left after this. The Owatonna Huskies are at Red Wing, 1 o'clock drop of the puck Saturday. They host Mankato West on Tuesday at 7. West is in the mix as well. And they finish off their season at Hopkins on February 12th at 7 at night. Sections start on the 19th of February for the Owatonna Huskies. They start on the 17th of February for the Northfield Raiders. Northfield is at Faribault Saturday night, a 7:15 drop of the puck. They travel to Mayo on Tuesday for a 7 o'clock start. Those, of course, are conference games. They end their conference season entertaining Albert Lee next Thursday right here in the Northfield Ice Arena. And they close out their season on the road on Valentine's Day. 3 in the afternoon, they travel to Delano to take on the Tigers of Delano. The Raiders and the Huskies. Big Nine Conference hockey here at the Northfield Ice Arena tonight. As I said, the Raiders celebrating 50 years of boys hockey here in Northfield. It was about that time that this arena was built, back in 75, 76. I graduated from high school in 77, so it wasn't, it was back in my old high school days. I was reminiscing with some of the gentlemen before the game from Northfield about when I first came to Faribault back in 1987. We used to do hockey games for the Faribault Falcons at the old Shattuck Arena, which was really cold. I mean, it had no heat in that building. When they say it's a barn, it was a barn. As a young gentleman from Northfield is taking pictures of all the celebrities that are here ringing the ice, celebrating their 50 years of hockey here in Northfield, and they would love to celebrate their 50th anniversary with a Big Nine Conference championship. And what stands in their way are the Owatonna Huskies here this evening. As I mentioned, Northfield is rated number 8 in Class A. Looking at those latest rankings in the state, in Class A boys, Hermantown is number 1, followed by Hibbing, Chisholm, Sartell, St. Stephen, Warroad, Matamidi are in the top 5. Northfield is number 7. Delano, I think I said 8. They're actually number 7 in the latest rankings that came out this week. They're number 7 now with their 18-2 record. They were 8th last week. Delano, a team they end their season with, is rated number 6 in the state. How's that for a tune-up game for the playoffs. Elsewhere, in Class A boys hockey, Waseca Blue Jays in the same section with Northfield are rated number 16. They were 19 a week ago. And the Rochester Lured Eagles, who are also in Section 1 Class A, were 20th last week. They moved up a spot to number 19. Mankato West, which is in Section 2, is in other teams receiving votes in Class A. Now, Class AA is where Owatonna sits. They are not in the rankings. Minnetonka's number 1, followed by Moorhead, St. Thomas Academy, and Edina. Shakopee out of the South Suburban Conference is number 5. Other South Suburban teams in the rankings in Class AA boys hockey include the Rosemont Irish at number 8, the Farmington Tigers at number 14, and the Lakeville South Cougars are in other teams receiving votes. There's no Big 9 teams mentioned whatsoever in Class AA hockey. None. And that's just the way it is. The Hopkins Royals are the team that the Owatonna Huskies finish their season off with next Thursday at Hopkins. And I do not see them in the rankings here. They are not in the rankings that I see in front of me that came out. Let's see here. I'm trying to remember what day this is. This is the 5th, right? So they came out on Tuesday. Tuesday is when they came out. And if you're interested in Class AA girls, the Raiders are rated number 18 in the state. That's where they were a week ago. They're in Section 1 AA. The Farmington Tigers in the same section are rated number 10 in the state. They have 20 wins on the season. Northfield has 15. They were number 9 with Farmington. They dropped a spot. And the Apple Valley Eagles out of the South Suburban Conference are rated number 19. They were number 19 a week ago. The Lakeville North Panthers are in other teams receiving votes on the girls' side in Class AA. Class A girls, Breck is number 1. The Dodge County Wildcats, the defending state champions, are number 2. They were number 3. Mankato East out of the Big 9 is number 6. The Minnesota River Bulldogs, same section as Mankato East, is number 11. Minnesota River Bulldogs include let's see here if I can remember them all. Montgomery, Lonsdale, Lee Center, LeSueur, Henderson are included in Minnesota River, the Bulldogs. And the Albert B. Tigers out of Section 1 Class A are ranked number 17 in the state with a 15-10 record. They were 14 the previous week. So those are the rankings. They came out earlier this week on Tuesday as they continue the pregame festivities here in the Northfield Ice Arena. Introductions of some people that have been instrumental in keeping hockey going in Northfield for a half a century. It makes me feel old when I think about it. They started when I was 16 years old, hockey here in Northfield, Minnesota. And I seem to recall that Faribault started 2 years previous to that. That's in my memory banks of my bald head. Our All Prep Sports Boosters bring you this broadcast tonight. On the line again, the Big 9 Conference title. Now, Northfield, if they win, will, I think, capture, they'll have a stranglehold on the conference title. If Owatonna were to upset the Northfield Raiders tonight, they pull into a tie, because again, you go by points, you don't go by wins. Northfield's 10-0, Owatonna's 9-2. A few years back, the Faribault Falcons, believe it or not, boys hockey team was on the cusp of winning a Big 9 conference title. They ended up with the most wins in the league, and because of the 1 point thing that they have for the for the point system as opposed to the wins and losses, they ended up not winning the Big 9 conference title that year. So I remember it very, very well, and they haven't changed the system evidently, and the coaches kind of put that in place, and that's what That's what they all agree to. Some teams play one game that ends up being a 4-point game. Other teams play 2 games, and those are each 2-point games, or at least that used to be the system. I'm not sure if they've changed it here recently. But the points coming into this, 20 for Northfield and 18 for Owatonna. Let me grab those Big 9 Conference standings here. Mankato West also has 18 points going into tonight. They're 14-5-2 on the season. As I said, Northfield 10-0 in the league, 20 points. They're 18-2 overall on the year. And the Owatonna Huskies sit 13-8 overall. They're 9-2 in Big 9 play with 18 points. Those are the 3 teams that could vie for the Big 9 Conference title, and they're all factoring into it right now, right? Because Mankato West is on the schedule to play the Owatonna Huskies on Tuesday night after Owatonna goes to Red Wing at 1 o'clock on Saturday. The Huskies will be hosting Mankato West on Tuesday. So if Owatonna were to beat Northfield tonight and they were to beat Mankato West on Tuesday, they would be assured of a conference title. I'm not sure if they have a tiebreaker or not in the Big 9, if they would end up with the same number of points, if it would be a tie, or if they'd go to head and determine the champion of the Big 9 Conference. Now they're getting ready for pictures as the current Raider team is coming out with all the celebrity past hockey stars from Northfield that have been ringing the rink here, the ice, as they're continuing their pregame festivities. The Northfield Raiders celebrating 50 years of hockey here in Northfield. Meanwhile, the Owatonna Huskies are waiting patiently in the locker room as the Northfield players are on the ice to get a picture, a mass picture with this incredible number of individuals that are out here being honored here today to be part of 50 years of hockey in Northfield. They're getting ready for their picture. 50 years. I couldn't get a good picture from where I'm sitting. I'm sitting in the corner of the rink. You know, we don't have a mid-rink perch like we used to have because, local media, and they should have that spot, but they take up the entire mid area. So I'm on the far corner of the rink. When we get started, we'll let you know what the vantage point will be like. We're across the rink from the penalty boxes and the scoreboard keepers. There's only one side of seating here in Northfield. I'm not sure if the new arena is going to have seating on both sides or not. But the new arena, they tell me, will be ready for next season for Northfield. And I know a lot of people here think it's been a long time coming to get a new arena. And they'll be doing that, of course, next season, as they just got done clicking some pictures of the folks that were honored here along with the current Northfield Raider hockey team. And who knows, that might end up being their Big 9 Conference championship poster if they were to pick up a win here tonight. As I mentioned, they would pick up a couple more points, and I think they would clinch it. Mankato West and Red Wing are the 2 games left for Owatonna on the schedule. Northfield will play at Mayo on Tuesday. They host Albert Lee next Thursday. And again, they play they play Faribault at Faribault on Saturday night, 7:15, before they end up their season at 6th-rated Delano on Valentine's Day at 3 in the afternoon. Ooh, that should be a dandy up there in Delano. So I think we're just about ready to get the warm-ups going and get the guys warmed up and ready to play some hockey here in the Big 9 Conference. I was not aware of that lengthy pregame, or I would not have hit the airwaves when I did, so I do apologize for that. You don't want to listen to me yap all day. This place is absolutely packed to the rafters. As I said, I'm in the corner in the seating. So I got people sitting all around me and in front of me, and so seeing is going to be quite the issue here. Got people behind me and around me, and I'm sitting on the corner like little Jack Horner. And they're still flying in here to the Northfield Ice Arena. This is going to be standing room only. It typically is. But when you've got the Big Nine Conference on the line, the Owatonna Huskies are in town. They always travel well. This should be an outstanding game as the Huskies are on the ice warming up even as we speak. The Huskies are on the ice. And the Raiders, I'm sure, will be out here shortly for this one. Northfield 10-0 in the conference, 18-2 overall on the season, 20 points in the league. And the Owatonna Huskies 9-2 in the conference, 13-8 overall, 18 points in league play, going toe-to-toe here at the Northfield Ice Arena. Tomorrow night, I've got a terrific high school boys basketball game for you. The Zumbrota-Mazeppa Cougars are traveling to Cannon Falls to play in the Bombers hangar. And I'll be there to bring it to you. The last time those two teams met, last Monday, it ended up an overtime game. Zumbrota-Mazeppa won that game in overtime last Monday. Now they go to Cannon Falls tomorrow night. And we'll have it for you right on these airwaves. We'll get underway right about 7, right about the same time we did tonight. Although I wasn't aware that they were going to have that long of a pregame. I knew they were going to honor the 50th year, but I didn't realize they were going to have, I think they had more than 50 people out there. Then they introduced each and every one of them, and so it took a little while for the pregame. As the officials are on the ice, stretching out, getting ready, warming up, and so are the Raider players. I'm in what this period will be the Raider zone. And from our vantage point, we're, as I said, in the corner of the rink. I could look right at the net that the Owatonna Huskies will be going at. Well, I can't look at it now because I got people standing in front of me, but and it'll probably be that way the whole game. It's just the way it is. Hopefully, the new Northfield Arena will have a special area for visiting broadcasters as well as home broadcasters. Used to be in the center, but they took up a lot more area nowadays because they have more equipment, the video folks do, than us radio folks. We don't need quite as much room. That's why I said I'll just go to the corner where I was when I was here for the girls Owatonna Northfield game here. Probably last month. I think it was, maybe even in December. I don't remember which. So the Raiders, if you are curious, lead the conference in a lot of different categories. Looking at the Big Nine statistics, the Owatonna Huskies rank 7th in the league in scoring at 2.86 goals per game. They're 3rd in allowing at 2.43 goals per contest. The Northfield Raiders are number 1 in offense at 4.95 goals per game. These are just league games. And they're giving up just 1.80 goals per contest. That's number 1 in the Big Nine. The Raiders rank 3rd in percentage of power play at 26.3%. They rank 3rd in penalty kill at 83.3%. The Owatonna Huskies rank 7th out of 11 teams in the Big Nine, 7th in power play percentage at 17%, and they are the number 1 penalty kill team in the Big Nine at 87.7%. So you've got the number 3 power play percentage-wise going up against the number 1 penalty kill percentage-wise. Not only are they that percentage-wise, Owatonna has only allowed 8 total power play goals all season in their Big Nine Conference games, in the 11 games they've played in the Big Nine. Northfield has played 10 games in the Big Nine. Again, just 8 goals have been allowed on the power play by Owatonna. Northfield has allowed 12 power play goals in their 10 games. Just a couple of stats to throw out there. You're probably curious, so I did check, and the number 1 power play percentage-wise is Austin at 30.4%. That's the number 1 power play percentage-wise. Mankato East has been on 108 power plays this season. They've had 100 penalty kills on the year in the conference. Again, there are 11 teams in the Big Nine. The Faribault Falcons rank 11th in games per game. 11th in goals allowed per game. They're 11th in power play percentage. And they're 10th out of the 11 teams in penalty kill. As I got kids walking all around me, moving my chair that I got my computer on. They can't sit still, if you know what I mean. Back and forth, up and down, all around. When the game starts, I certainly hope they sit down. That's the hope. That's the dream. That's the desire. Well, the Huskies are in the zone that I'm sitting in. Owatonna's in the far other end of the rink. That's the goal they'll be defending. Raiders will be defending this goal here in the first period. Raiders will be going left to right. Or excuse me, right to left. And the Huskies left to right on your radio dial when we get underway here from the Northfield Ice Arena. Not only are they celebrating 50 years of Northfield hockey, but this arena is celebrating about 50 years of existence. In next year, they get a brand new arena to enjoy. I know they're going to have fun. By the way, our stats tonight are all a service of H&R Block. They have offices in Faribault, in Owatonna, and in Lakeville. H&R Block, they're the place to go to have your taxes completed. And, of course, we're smack dab in the middle of income tax preparation season. It's so easy, ladies and gentlemen. You just drop off your items. If they have any questions, they'll get your phone number. They'll ask you any questions. You don't have to sit for hours. They do them. When they get them completed, they will file them electronically, which is the best way. They'll give you a call and have you, of course, sign them before they file them electronically. They got to have your signature on there. But it's so easy. Since COVID, they've been doing this. And I have to tell you, if there was one blessing that came out of COVID, it was the way H&R Block devised to do taxes this way. So you don't have to sit in a couple hours and get things, sit and answer all kinds of questions. It's all self-explanatory if you put the right documentation in your envelope when you take it over to the H&R Block office, either in Faribault. You folks in Northfield might want to go to Lakeville or Faribault, and Owatonna. The Owatonna folks can go, of course, to the Owatonna office. There's nothing that says you can't come to Faribault or go to Lakeville either. Let's say you happen to live in Owatonna, you work in Lakeville, or maybe you work in Faribault and you live in Lakeville. Whatever the case might be, those offices have tax preparers that average now, mind you, over a decade of tax preparation experience. They are the tax experts at H&R Block. They know taxes. H&R Block in Faribault, Owatonna, and
File
Lakeville.
your taxes with expert help at H&R Block in Faribault, Owatonna, and Lakeville. Their tax preparers average over a decade of tax preparation experience. The awesome thing these days is you put the information together, drop it off, and if your preparer has any questions, they'll call you. It's fast and so easy. H&R Block, Faribault, Owatonna, and Lakeville, where you get your maximum refund guaranteed.
At Community Resource Bank, they're more than just a place to manage your money. They're your neighbors, your supporters, your financial partners. Whether you're starting fresh or planning ahead, the team at Community Resource Bank is ready to help with banking that fits your life. Stop in, say hi, and see why more people are choosing Community Resource Bank. Community Resource Bank. Let's bank together. Member FDIC.
Join us at Cashwise Foods on February 7th for our Taste of Game Day event, featuring samples, a meat sale, and a fuel frenzy. Plus, get Food Club cheese for just 99 cents. Score all week long with game day deals like fresh avocados for just 59 cents each, and Greater Omaha 81% lean ground beef for only $4.49 a pound. Cashwise, bringing the excitement of game day to your table.
Cashwise Foods.
This Valentine's, enjoy a romantic night at J. Moll's Bowl in Faribault, where you always strike a great meal. Phone 507-323-8228 for reservations. The menu includes a 16-ounce prime rib meal with roasted potatoes, a vegetable, and dinner roll for $29.95. Every meal comes with a glass of wine. Of course, must be 21 to enjoy that. There will be chocolate, roses. J. Moll's Bowl is Faribault's fun center with various bowling packages also available. J. Moll's Bowl, 1902 4th Street Northwest, Faribault.
Now we're back at the Northfield Ice Arena where they're just getting ready to wind down their warm-ups. And the Zamboni will resurface the ice before the start of today's matchup. I think, maybe not. They resurfaced it before the warm-up, so maybe they planned for that when they had their celebration beforehand. And we'll just head right onto the ice. I doubt that, but we'll find out here shortly. It looks like the Zamboni is getting ready to come onto the ice here. And so they'll resurface it and get ready. And obviously we're starting a little late here tonight. 7:15 was the original drop of the puck time, but they had their pregame festivities honoring 50 years of hockey, 50 years of boys hockey here in Northfield, celebrating 50 years. I don't remember them doing a big deal in Faribault at 50 years, but maybe I wasn't included in the memo when they were doing it back. I got for some reason, I'm thinking that Faribault started in 70. It was either 73 or 74. I'll have to see if I can't get a hold of Ranger Reed and find out which year it was. He was their first hockey coach in Faribault, and boy, it was cold in that Shattuck Arena doing those games back in the late 80s. We were so happy to get an arena in Faribault. Of course, now Shattuck has a couple of really nice arenas on their campus as they've grown immensely, and many of their players, of course, go on to the NHL and donate back to the school, and that's how they're able to afford all that good stuff. As the Zamboni is on the ice here and getting the ice resurfaced for the start of this Big Nine Conference showdown between the Northfield Raiders and the Owatonna Huskies. I did not bring my schedule for tonight here. I probably should have to let you know who else is playing. I do know that the Faribault Falcons are hosting the Albert Lee Tigers tonight down at the Faribault Ice Arena, and they were supposed to drop the puck at 7:15. As I said before, the Northfield Raiders' next game will be at Faribault, a 7:15 drop of the puck on Saturday night this weekend, Saturday night. As the Zamboni is on the ice, getting it ready for the start of this Big Nine Conference tilt between the Owatonna Huskies and the Northfield Raiders. If Northfield were to pull off an upset, they would pull into a tie because they go by points, go into they would pull into a tie with the Northfield Raiders with just a couple of games left in the regular season. If Northfield wins this, I think they pretty much clinch the Big Nine. Because I really don't see them losing to the Falcons. No offense, but Faribault has not won a game in the Big Nine this season, and I just gave you their statistics of giving up almost 6 goals a game. But anything can happen, right? That's why they play the games. I understand that. But you never, you can't take any team too lightly either, right? You can't go into a game saying, well, we're going to cakewalk in this one, because you just never know. We see upsets all the time. That's why we love sports. As the Minnesota Orthodontics Zamboni continues to prep the ice here at the Northfield Ice Arena. It's absolutely packed to the Raptors. There are people standing on top of the stands here. Again, there's just one side of stands in Northfield, and people are ringing behind the glass on the other side of the rink here in Northfield. Man, oh man, is this place packed. There's people ringing not only the other end of the rink, but this end of the rink where they got to look through posters and jerseys of the 10 seniors on this Northfield team that were honored before the game, along with the individuals that were all honored for their 50 years of hockey in Northfield. So, while the Minnesota Orthodontics Zamboni continues to prep the ice, we'll hear from some of our super sponsors who make our broadcasts possible, including Federated Insurance, Owatonna Auto Clinic, Owatonna Heating and Cooling, also Cashwise Foods, and Fairway All out of Owatonna. The Fairway Food Store in Faribault also brings you our broadcast here tonight. Harley's Auto Salvage, located in Faribault. Taji Jewelry in downtown Kenyon. You don't want just any diamond. You want a Taji Jewelry diamond with Valentine's right around the corner. Northland Farm Systems, Faribault Transportation. The Minnesota Air National Guard Community Resource Bank. They've got a branch here in Northfield. They're located in Faribault. They're in Cannon Falls and in Roseville. Also bringing you our broadcast here tonight from the Northfield Ice Arena. We'll be back in a jiff.
Valentine's Day is the perfect time to let your sweetheart know you'd choose them all over again. Taji Jewelry downtown Kenyon is the place to go for diamonds. Flowers fade. Candy is gone in a heartbeat. Diamonds or other jewelry remind your special someone of your love every time they see your gift. Diamonds are forever, and your loved one doesn't want just any diamond. They want a Taji Jewelry diamond. Harley's Auto Salvage has been in business over a half-century, serving people through their Like Magic nationwide parts locator. New and used auto parts. Check out their large supply of new and used tires. 30-day warranty on electronics, 60-day warranty on all motors and transmissions with extended warranties available.
Cody here with Harley's Auto Salvage. Haven't been here in a while? Stop in and check out our drive-through recycling building. You can recycle your aluminum cans, copper, brass, and metal. And of course, we're always here to help you get that newer used auto part. Harley's Auto Salvage.
Hey, Ken Herbeck here. Is it time for a tune-up or maybe a new furnace? Call Owatonna Heating and Cooling, your local Carrier dealer today, and have your furnace checked. Don't wait until you're without heat and below zero temperatures. Call us to get your furnace checked to prevent carbon monoxide poisoning or sudden furnace failure when you really need it most. Owatonna Heating and Cooling is your local Carrier dealer. Turn to the experts. Find us online at owatonna-heating.com or call 507-451-2051. That's 451-2051.
As a business owner, you understand the importance of protecting your reputation, workplace, employees, and financial assets. Our team is ready to help yours by creating a custom lineup of industry-specific coverages and risk management service to help you stay at the top of your game. Contact your local Federated representative for more information today. Federated Insurance. It's our business to protect yours. Rated A+ Superior by AM Best Company.
Well, the Zambonis doing a couple of final passes here at the Northfield Ice Arena. This facility has already been purchased. As I said, the new arena is in the construction phase and should be open next year. We're looking forward to that. I hope they have a spot for us broadcasters. I'm kind of hoping they have seating on both sides like they do in Owatonna. But I guess I don't know that for a fact. I'll have to ask Tom Spooner, who is the mayor of Faribault and also works for the Northfield Parks and Recreation Department. He's kind of the arena guru here. But I'm sure it'll be very, very nice. This has certainly served its purpose. But I remember when I first started doing broadcasts of hockey games over here, we were in the rafters, literally, and at the end of the rink. And, of course, in those days, they didn't have numbers at all on the front of their uniforms. So when they were skating toward you, you didn't know who it was. Yeah, that's the way it went back in those days. They've since done a better job of putting numbers on the side and on some of them put on the helmet as well, so you can catch the number, and that's how you determine who the person is, because, you know, they got a helmet on. You can't see their face or anything. As the Zamboni only has a couple more passes before they put the nets back on their moorings. We'll have the announcing of our starting lineups, and we'll have this Big Nine Conference showdown between the Northfield Raiders and the Owatonna Huskies coming your way. Gordy Kosfeld here at the KDHL Sports Microphone. Again, tomorrow night I will be in Cannon Falls at the Bombers hangar as the Zumbrota Mazeppa Cougars will be playing the Cannon Falls Bombers in a rematch of a game that went overtime last week. Yeah, they're just it was Monday of last week when they played in Mazeppa, and they have the rematch tomorrow night. Both those teams in the state rankings in Class 2A men. That Section 1AA boys basketball tournament is going to be one incredible tournament. Whoever comes out of that's going to have a very good shot. I mean a very good shot at winning the state tournament, because they'll be so battle tested when they get there. It'll be incredible. It really will. Of course, Goodhue is in that section. They're the number one rated 1AA team in the state. Deservedly so. They are so good. I saw them against Cannon Falls last week. And they kind of took it to a very good Bomber team that can absolutely score. And the reason why Goodhue won that game was defense, quite frankly. Defense is what won that game. The overtime game between Zumbrota Mazeppa and Cannon Falls last week ended up in, 90, was it 90 to 87 or something like that? It was really a high scoring game. Of course, as I said, it went to overtime. The officials are back on the ice. Players will be here shortly. A couple of little Raiders are coming out with the American flag and the Northfield Raider flag and skating onto the rink. The sheet of ice here, and here come the Northfield Raiders out of their locker room. Again, skating in the zone right in front of us here at the Northfield Ice Arena. And the Owatonna Huskies will be in the zone opposite from where we are sitting, in the corner of the rink, across from the penalty boxes and the benches and the scorers table, which are across the ice from where I am sitting. He just banged the buzzer to get Owatonna out here. And here come the Huskies. Well, they turned down the lights as they played the national anthem, and we are set to get this game underway. Finally. About a half hour late. Again, Northfield's defensemen are Bridger Riley and Jacob Peters. And their front line is Miles Kennelly, Michael Stewart, and Philip Benjamin. Owatonna has Gavin Fitch, one of the defensemen. Grady Roush is a forward. Caleb Ringhofer is a forward. Wyatt Macy is the other defenseman. And Ryan Lewis is up front. In net for Owatonna on the far end is Braxton Ringhofer. 11-7 record. He has 2 shutouts on the season. Face-off controlled by the Raiders. They're moving left to right on your radio dial, and the Huskies are right to left on your radio dial as Northfield gains control of the puck. They send it behind the board right at the pipe, and they score! 18 seconds into the game. Wow. 18 seconds into the game, the Raiders score. Let's see if we can hear the goal. I was just about to tell you, Ringhofer is a 2.53 goals against average, a 915 save percentage. Gavin Winter, the senior for Northfield, a 1.82 goals against average and a 91.97 save percentage. So Kennelly got the goal and Stewart gets the assist. And Northfield has quite the start to this game. They're already up 1-0, just 18 seconds in to the game. As Riley leads up behind him, Benjamin skates up the rink, cross rink pass, goes back to Riley. He's going to chase the puck all the way to the right of Ringhofer. And boy, that was one quick goal, 18 seconds into the game. And we have an icing call here on the Owatonna Huskies. Both teams will take the opportunity to make a shift change here. 16-12 to go first period. Raiders already up by a 1-0 score. All our stats tonight will be a service of H&R Block with offices in Faribault, Owatonna, and Lakeville. At H&R Block, they no taxes. Face off to the right of Ringhofer in the Husky zone. On the far end, it's kind of hard actually to see the blue numbers on the black uniforms on the far end of the rink here for the Huskies as they try to bank it off the far board when they bring it up the rink. It does ring behind the board. Northfield gives chase. There's a check by a Husky of the Raider. And likewise on the sideboard. Now the puck bounces at mid-ice. Is picked up there by Northfield. And I think we're going to have an offside on the Raiders here with 15:46 to go in the period. No, the puck went out of play. So a face-off just above the Husky blue line as they drop the puck, and that was controlled by Owatonna. Owatonna looks to bring the puck up the rink. Again, coming into where we're sitting. Another nice check of the Husky off the puck to get Northfield the puck. They'll push it back into the Owatonna zone, or try to. It ends up at neutral ice. 15:22 to go here in the first period. Already a 1-0 Northfield lead. Puck rings the board to the right of Ringhofer. He keeps tabs of it. A pass toward the net. Picked up there by Owatonna. They're trying to send it back the other way. Again, they're moving right to left. Northfield left to right on your radio dial. Huskies having a heck of a time gaining control of the puck. Another hard check into the board on the near side by the Northfield Raiders. Owatonna, always known as a very physical team, is coming up with a puck for the Northfield Raiders was R.J. Wozlowski. Wozlowski has played 20 games on the season, has 4 goals on the year. He's a senior. And we got another whistle and a bouncing puck. And we'll have another face-off in the Owatonna zone. Face-off, the red circle to the right of Ringhofer. There's just inside, there's a nice pad save there by Northfield's Winter. Another shot, and Winter saves it. That was in the middle of the slot that time. As the Huskies got a good shot off there. 2-1 shots on goal in favor of Northfield so far. And they scored once. As again, we got puck going out of play. And the Raiders and the Huskies, well, actually we got a penalty here. A penalty, and Owatonna's going to go on the power play with 14:03 to go in the period. Going in the penalty box will be Wazlowski. So Wazlowski is in the penalty box. Owatonna scores! 7 seconds into their power play. So I do believe scoring for the Owatonna Huskies that time. He was in the red circle to the left of Winter. Was Zach Klecker. He's a junior. We're tied at 1. Just 7 seconds into the power play, Owatonna scored. So both teams picking these goals up quickly. Northfield scored 18 seconds into the game at even strength. Owatonna gets a power play goal. Save. High in the slot was a shot taken that time by Owatonna's Braden Spindler. He's a sophomore. Puck ends up going all the way down toward the other end of the rink. They wave off icing for Northfield. The puck went up in the air, was knocked down there off the glove of the Northfield Raiders at neutral ice. Cross rink pass, and then they cross rink it again. We're at even strength with 12:28 to go in the period in a 1-1 game. Bringing the puck up the rink that time for Owatonna was Jacob Peters, who started in defense tonight. Riley is back to help out his goalie. There's a shot pushed aside. It was taken, a left-handed shot from the right side, which was taken that time by Owatonna's Jackson Kath. He's a senior. As Owatonna gains possession of the puck in their own zone, they're looking to break out. Pass goes to the middle of the rink, and it bounces into the zone here, and I think we're going to have another penalty here. Yeah, we're going to have another penalty. And the Owatonna Huskies are going to go on the power play again. Remember, we told you they have the number 1 penalty kill in the conference. Owatonna does. Penalty was called on Henry Weber. He's a senior. Owatonna scored on their first power play. They had 17% coming into tonight, ranking, I think I said 7th in the Big Nine, if I remember right. They're tussling for the puck in the corner to the left of Winter. Northfield gains possession, and remember they're shorthanded here as they bring it up. The Owatonna Huskies trying to gain control, dump it back into the corner to the right. There's a pad save there, almost a shorthanded goal by the Raiders. 11:05 to go. Now the Huskies get control of the puck back into the Northfield zone, or at least they try to. Northfield does a nice job to get control and just send it back to the other end, and precious seconds are ticking away for the Owatonna Huskies. 10 minutes, 48 seconds to go in this period. We're tied at 1. It's the first period. The Raiders trying to block, skating on his derriere to block that shot was Charlie Becker. He was sliding on his hip to block. It really wasn't a shot. It was a pass there at mid-ice. But that did not allow Owatonna to dump it back into the Northfield zone. Remember, they're on the power play. And they have not looked like they've been on a power play this time. They did the first time when they scored 7 seconds into it. Good job on the penalty kill by Northfield as Stewart sends it back to the other end. With 10 minutes to go in this first period and 15 seconds left in the power play for Owatonna. The Huskies have been outshot 5-4 by the Raiders here at the Northfield Ice Arena. Puck rings the board. Coming out of the net is Winter, and they're going to have 4 seconds to go. Owatonna got an icing call. And they'll have to try to go the length of the rink in 4 seconds and score with a face-off to the right of Ringhofer in the Owatonna zone. We're at even strength now. Oliver Benjamin won the face-off for Northfield. Puck bounces to the near side. Owatonna trying to gain possession. Comes to the near side. It banked off the near side board. Owatonna does gain possession. There's a shot. There's a stick save by Winter. Shooting that time for the Owatonna Huskies. And a score by Owatonna with 9:16 to go in the period. An even strength goal. Puts Owatonna up 2-1. Well, I didn't quite catch the number there. 9 minutes and 1 second to go here in the first period. It's 2-1 Huskies. They've scored 2 goals on just 6 shots. Northfield has 1 goal on 5 shots. Face-off is to the left of Ringhofer in the Owatonna zone. And you, as a coach, I know are concerned. You had all that pregame stuff beforehand, right? Is your goalie in the right frame of mind to start the game? I'm sure Winter will get it together here for Northfield, but Owatonna's got to feel pretty good about scoring a couple of goals in the first less than 10 minutes of the game. As Owatonna sends it back, Winter leaves it for his teammate. As Peters tried to break out of the zone, and we got another whistle here. So far, only penalties have been called on Northfield as Winter going to go back into the net. Face off to his left. They weren't even ready yet. And they dropped the puck. Then the official was talking to the goalie who wasn't even in the net, and they dropped the puck. They're going to redo it, as they should. Man, oh man. He drops the puck. Owatonna shoots, and it's deflected into the netting in front of us. We'll have another face-off to the left of Winter in the red circle. I think it was Grady Roush that was in the face-off for the Owatonna Huskies. As the puck banks off the backboard behind the Northfield net. Benjamin trying to break it out. Winter staying down as the puck goes through the crease all the way to the other side. And Northfield will send it to the other end. They wave off an icing call with 7:50 to go. Owatonna now breaks out of their zone at mid-ice. Brings it across the Northfield blue line. Munoz is going to send it up the rink for the Northfield Raiders. Down by a 2-1 score with 7.5 minutes to go in the first period. Riley hits the rink, gets the puck immediately at neutral ice. He'll pass it to the other side, trying to get Ringhoffer to go side to side here. And there's a score by Northfield. 7:22 to go here in the first period. Well, I think we got a second goal for Kennelly. An assist went to Philip Benjamin. And the other assist went to Bridger Riley. Kennelly scored the first goal for Northfield today. And Stewart got the assist on that goal. I did not hear the second Husky goal. The first Husky goal was scored by Klecker. So we're tied at 2. This is a higher scoring game than I thought we were going to see. These are two teams that are in the top 3 in defense in the conference, and we got a 2-2 game a little over 10 minutes into it. As Benjamin keeping tabs of that puck. Northfield sends it back and hits behind the backboard. Comes back all the way to this end where Simon will spank it back up the rink. Pass to neutral ice and then sent back into the Owatonna zone by Oliver Benjamin. Got to keep my Benjamin straight. Skating to the other side. A good check that time by Christian Whiteman of an Owatonna Husky on the backboard. As Northfield sends a cross-rink pass to Jacob Peters. Riley gets an angle pass. Good spacing on the ice here by Northfield. 5 minutes and 43 seconds to go in this period. We're tied at 2 apiece. There's a shot, a flurry of activity, but no goal scored that time in the Owatonna zone by the Raiders. They're trying to gain control and try and see if they can get a centering pass here. Here's a shot, goes to the other side. Well, they bring it back to the other side, trying to get Ringhoffer to go side to side. Here's a shot from the blue line. It goes and hits the backboard, as you probably heard. That shot was taken by Peters. And now Owatonna has Peters take it off the stick of one of the Huskies. The puck's going to end up behind the goal of Northfield. Skating around that is Riley. He'll get it to mid-ice. Full speed ahead goes Kennelly. He skates behind the goal, sends it back to the blue line. Nice push pass to the other side. There's a shot that hits the backboard. Went wide of the net. Obviously not on goal. 10-7. Owatonna leads in shots right now. as Riley tries to settle down the puck. Will send it to his teammate, Kennelly, who will set it up the ice for the Raiders, who head into the Owatonna zone. Huskies flip it in the air, try to get it to a teammate. We're going to have a penalty here. I think. No, I guess not. I guess it's offside. So, 2-2 is our score with 4:22 to go in the first period. Benjamin couldn't get the puck settled on his stick that time. Philip Benjamin on the near board. Nearly right in front of us. Good physical check that time by the Raiders' Ashton Pumper of a Husky. On the near side, trying to gain control of the puck was Ryan Lewis, a sophomore for Owatonna. 3:56 to go in the period. We're tied at 2 apiece. Shots are 10-7 in favor of Owatonna. Across the Northfield blue line, we got another offside on Owatonna. So we have a face-off in the neutral zone just above the Northfield blue line. Oliver Benjamin is in the face-off for Northfield, and in the face-off for Owatonna is Zach Klecker, the junior. They drop the puck, and coming out of there with it is Northfield. Cross-rink pass to Riley. Riley does the angle pass. They get it into the Owatonna zone, and a couple of guys take a tumble onto the ice going after the puck. It's sent to the other side, to the right of Ringhofer, and a whistle blows with 3:33 to go in the period. Again, we're tied at 2 apiece. Already had 2 penalties called on Northfield in this game, as Winter takes a little stroll out of his net while the puck is on the other end. We've got somebody injured on the other end of the rink. I take everybody standing up in front of me, so I can't see. And trainers helping him off the ice. It's one of the Raiders. Looks a little groggy. As he's being assisted off, it's Taylor Stanford. Stanford, a junior, has a goal and 4 assists on the season. Face off at above the Owatonna blue line with 3:29 to go in the period. Nice back pass. The red circle sent back toward the blue line. It's sent just wide from just below the blue line by the Huskies. There was a nice hard shot that time by Owatonna's Jace Lane. He's a sophomore defenseman. Behind the net, Zach Klecker trying to gain control. He's got one of the goals for Owatonna here tonight. We're tied at 2 apiece. Shots are 10-8 now in favor of Owatonna, as Benjamin sends it back, Oliver Benjamin, into the Owatonna zone and then leaves the ice for a teammate with 2 minutes and 40 seconds to go. Owatonna gives chase, and we're going to have an icing call on the Huskies. They couldn't catch up to the puck. So, face off in the Owatonna zone will be to the left of Ringhofer. Henry Weber's there for Northfield. Northfield did win the face-off. I don't know why teams don't have that percentage on the high school league website anyway. I would assume they take track of it, don't they? Here's a shot that's lifted over the goal. He was right at the pipe that time. Was the Owatonna Husky. He's going to shoot, and it's wide from the blue line. And the last 2 shots were taken by Owatonna's Caleb Ringhofer. He's a junior. But nobody has control now. Owatonna gets it, shoots, and there's a glove save by Winter. On the shot that was taken by Gavin Fitch, a sophomore defenseman from about the blue line. Minute 55 to go in this first period. It's 11-8. Owatonna leads in shots. We're tied at 2 apiece. Face off to the left of Winter in the Northfield zone. There's a shot. It pushes it aside with his stick. There's Winter. Off the face off. The shot was taken by Ringhofer, Caleb. And we got a whistle blow again. Looks like we're going to have a cross check here on Owatonna. With a minute 50 to go in the period. Penalty was called on Caleb Ringhofer, the junior. So Ringhofer's in the penalty box. Northfield's on the power play. Here's a shot, and it was a glove save that time by Ringhofer. Minute 37 to go. If you just joined us, Northfield scored 18 seconds into the game. Owatonna tied it up 7 seconds into their first power play. We're tied at 2 with 97 seconds left of the period. As Northfield is on the power play, just below the blue line. Keeping tabs on it. Riley is at the blue line. From the point, he sends it to his left. Here's a shot, and it goes the opposite corner, comes back to Michael Stewart, who had an assist on the first goal. He pushes it out to Riley. Riley of the blue line, back to Stewart. To the right of Ringhofer. They've got a Raider perched right in front of the net. And a score by Northfield. Went top shelf. So Bridger Riley, I think, got that one. Who had an assist earlier.
And number 9, Michael Stewart.
So Stewart gets his second assist on the Riley goal, or excuse me, the Riley goal. Bridger Riley. And it's 3-2 Northfield. They score on power play. So each team has a power play goal. And boy, has this been a high scoring period. It's 3-2 and we're only in the first period. As the puck rings the net, the final 18 seconds of this period. The puck sitting in the Northfield zone. Owatonna trying to break it out. There's a shot on the move by the Raiders. We have 5 seconds to go. The puck is pinned underneath about 4 pairs of skates to the right of Ringhofer, and that'll be the first period. 3-2 is our score in favor of Northfield after one period. Man, oh man, I did not expect to see all this scoring. Shots are 12-10 in favor of Owatonna. All of our statistics, the service of H&R Block. They have offices in Faribault, in Owatonna, and in Northfield. At H&R Block, they know taxes. Our first intermission report is coming your way next. We'll hear from a number of our sponsors. We'll have as many statistics as I can put together for you, courtesy of H&R Block, with offices in Faribault, in Owatonna, and Lakeville. At H&R Block, they know taxes. 1 period in the book. Northfield 3, Owatonna 2, here at the Northfield Ice Arena.
Owatonna Auto Clinic has the cure when that check engine light comes on. Let the car doctors get to work diagnosing the issue with a prescription to get it back on the road fast. The experts at Owatonna Auto Clinic will diagnose the issue, fixing only what needs to be repaired. That's how they've earned their reputation for honesty. They handle routine service too, like brakes and suspension work. The vehicle prescriptions always at Owatonna Auto Clinic, 902 Hoffman Drive. Check out OwatonnaAutoClinic.com.
Minnesota Coaches Incorporated is proud to transport teams, athletes, cheerleaders, and coaches, getting you to the game all season long. Since the 1930s, they've been your trusted full-service charter planner, serving local communities with safe, reliable travel. From private charters and school trips to tour groups, sports teams, and church outings, they've got you covered. Minnesota Coaches Incorporated. Full-service travel with peace of mind. Visit MinnesotaCoaches.com or call 507-334-5121 today.
Looking for raw power and rugged performance? Look no further than Coyote. These tractors don't quit, and neither should you. From sunrise to sundown, Coyote keeps you moving. Built tough, priced right, and ready for action. That's the Coyote way. So gear up and get to your local Coyote dealer today. Stop in and check out the full line at your local Coyote dealer, Northland Farm Systems, 2250 Austin Road in Owatonna. Online at northlandfarmsystems.com.
File your taxes with expert help at H&R Block in Faribault, Owatonna, and Lakeville. Their tax preparers average over a decade of tax preparation experience. The awesome thing these days is you put the information together, drop it off, and if your preparer has any questions, they'll call you. It's fast and so easy. H&R Block, Faribault, Owatonna, and Lakeville, where you get your maximum refund guaranteed.
Some little guys are on the ice, entertaining the crowd here in Northfield with the varsity around them at mid-ice. With the score 3-2 in favor of Northfield after 1 period. Rudy Kosfeld at the KDHL Sports microphone. We're at the Northfield Ice Arena. Big Nine Conference boys hockey action. And boy, did we have a lot of action in the first period. We had a total of 5 goals. 3 for Northfield, 2 for Owatonna. We had a total of 3 penalties, 2 for Northfield and 1 for Owatonna. Each team has a power play goal in the first period. As the score again is 3-2. Northfield. Coming into this game, the Raiders were number 1 in goals scored per game in the Big Nine at 4.95. They also allowed the fewest at 1.80. They've already given up 2 in 1 period. They were third in the Big Nine in power play per 20%, and they were third in penalty kill at 83%. They gave up their 13th power play of the season in the first period to Owatonna. And the Huskies gave up only their 9th power play goal of the season in the first period. They were the number 1 penalty kill team coming into today at 87.7%, and they ranked 7th in terms of percentage on the power play, 7th in the conference at 17%, and they did get a power play goal in the first period. Owatonna ranks 7th out of 11 teams in goals per game at 2.86 in the Big Nine. And they're number 3 in goals allowed per game at 2.43. As I said, these are 2 of the top 3 teams in the Big Nine in defense. And then we've seen a lot of offense. Figures, right? 3-2, Northfield leads as we'll continue our first intermission report right after these messages Again, our statistics tonight, all of them are a service of H&R Block. They are the numbers people. You need to file your taxes. The place to go is the place that specializes in taxes, and those are the folks at H&R Block, with offices in Faribault, in Owatonna, and in Lakeville. One period in the book. It's 3-2. Northfield leading the Owatonna Huskies. Again, shots on goal in that first period were 12-10 in favor of Owatonna.
At Community Resource Bank, they're more than just a place to manage your money. They're your neighbors, your supporters, your financial partners. Whether you're starting fresh or planning ahead, the team at Community Resource Bank is ready to help with banking that fits your life. Stop in, say hi, and see why more people are choosing Community Resource Bank. Community Resource Bank. Let's bank together. Member FDIC.
Join us at Cashwise Foods on February 7th for our Taste of Game Day event, featuring samples, a meat sale, and a fuel frenzy. Plus, get Food Club cheese for just 99 cents. Score all week long with game day deals like fresh avocados for just 59 cents each, and Greater Omaha 81% lean ground beef for only $4.49 a pound. Cashwise, bringing the excitement of game day to your table.
Cashwise Foods.
You train hard. You play harder. Now it's time to level up. The Minnesota Air National Guard isn't just a part-time job, it's a launch pad. Get elite training, real-world experience, and college paid for while staying close to home. You've got the drive. We've got the mission. Call 1-800-835-3764. Your future doesn't wait. Neither do we.
This Valentine's, enjoy a romantic night at J. Moll's Bowl in Faribault, where you always strike a great meal. Phone 507-323-8228 for reservations. The menu includes a 16-ounce prime rib meal with roasted potatoes, a vegetable, and dinner roll for $29.95. Every meal comes with a glass of wine. Of course, must be 21 to enjoy that. There will be chocolate, roses. J. Moll's Bowl is Faribault's fun center with various bowling packages also available. J. Moll's Bowl, 1902 4th Street Northwest, Faribault.
Yeah, it's the place to go for Valentine's. J. Moll's Bowl, our radio home for the Faribault Coaches Show, each and every Saturday morning from 10 to 10:30. I know the next couple of weeks I've got the show myself because Royal Ross, my co-host, is going to be in Florida for a couple of weeks. A deserved vacation for him. So we're looking forward to that. And we can get some hockey guys out there. I doubt it, though, because they play on Saturday. And I know Coach Dickinson does not like to send people out to the Faribault Coaches Show on a game day. They play these Northfield Raiders on Saturday night in Northfield, in Faribault Arena, a 7:15 drop of the puck. Again, shots on goal are 12-10 in favor of Owatonna. The score is 3-2 in favor of Northfield. Northfield scored. Kennelly picked up the first goal of the game 18 seconds into the game. It was his 20th goal of the season. Assist went to Michael Stewart, his 29th assist of the year. He's got 42 points. Kennelly has 39 points. Owatonna went on the power play, and 7 seconds into that power play, not quite 4 minutes into the game, they tied it. I did not hear who the assist went to, but Zach Klecker Jr. got the goal. Then Owatonna went ahead on an even strength goal at about the not quite 9-minute mark, just short of the 9-minute mark. And I did not catch who scored that goal. For Northfield, Kennelly then got their next goal, the second of the night. The assist went to Philip Benjamin, his 11th assist of the year. Also, an assist was doled out to Riley, Bridger Riley, his 23rd assist of the season. And then the final score for Northfield was Riley. Riley, the senior, had his 7th goal of the year. He was assisted by Stewart, getting his 2nd assist of this game, and his 30th assist, and his 43rd point of the season. Those are the statistics that we have, courtesy of H&R Block offices in Faribault, in Owatonna, and in Lakeville at H&R Block. Man, oh man, do they know
Valentine's Day is the perfect time to let your sweetheart know you choose them all over again. Taji Jewelry Downtown Canyon is the place to go for diamonds. Flowers fade, candy is gone in a heartbeat. Diamonds or other jewelry remind your special someone of your love every time they see your gift. Diamonds are forever, and your loved one doesn't want just any diamond. They want a Taji Jewelry diamond.
Hey, Ken Herbeck here. Is it time for a tune-up or maybe a new furnace? Call Owatonna Heating and Cooling, your local Carrier dealer today, and have your furnace checked. Don't wait until you're without heat and below zero temperatures. Call us to get your furnace checked to prevent carbon monoxide poisoning or sudden furnace failure when you really need it most. Owatonna Heating and Cooling is your local Carrier dealer. Turn to the experts. Find us online at owatonna-heating.com or call 507-451-2051. That's 451-2051.
Fairway Meat and Grocery in Faribault is a proud sponsor of all area athletics. Are you ready for your game day party? From USDA choice steaks and fresh produce to snacks and delicious meat and cheese trays, Fairway has everything you need to fuel your crew. Shop online for easy curbside pickup or check out their weekly ad in store. They're open Monday through Saturday, 7 a.m. to 9 p.m. for all your grocery needs. Good luck to all area athletes from Fairway Meat and Grocery in Faribault.
Finding health insurance doesn't have to be stressful. For 35 years, Beth Fanning-Hange at Fanning & Associates has been helping people navigate their problems with confidence. Beth takes the time to truly get to know her clients, meeting in person, not leaving you on hold, or handing your information off to strangers. She'll compare plans from multiple providers to find the best fit for your needs. And if you just want to know whether you're paying too much, she'll review that too. Call Beth at Fanning & Associates in downtown Dodge Center. Your consultation is free.
One period in the book, 3-2, the Northfield Raiders, as the Zambonis completing his final passes here to get the ice prepared for period number 2 with a score 3-2. The Northfield Raiders on top of the Owatonna Huskies. Again, Owatonna's outshot Northfield 12-10. When we start the second period, the Raiders will be on, the Huskies will be on a power play. Right at the end of the period, I mean right at the end of the period, a penalty was called on Northfield. Second penalty of the game called again Wazlowski. So the second period, Owatonna will start on the power play, down by a 3-2 score. This is the first intermission report. Big Nine Conference hockey. Owatonna and Northfield. Northfield with 20 points in the Big Nine, undefeated in Big Nine Conference play. Owatonna has 18 points in the Big Nine. They have 2 losses, 9 wins, but it's points that determine your conference champion. And if Owatonna were to win this, they pull into a tie with the Northfield Raiders for first place. Northfield wins this. I think they pretty much have wrapped up the Big Nine Conference title. Well, I shouldn't say that. They've still got a couple of games left. They have Faribault on Saturday night over in Faribault. They travel to Mayo on Tuesday. They host Albert Lee next Thursday. Owatonna has just 2 conference games left. They will be at Red Wing. They drop the puck at 1 o'clock on Saturday. And then on Tuesday, they host Mankato West down at Four Seasons Arena, and they finish off their season on the 12th, which is next Thursday at Hopkins. That's right, the Hopkins Royals. Again, 3-2 your score after 1 period in favor of Northfield. Shots Owatonna 12, Northfield 10. Second period will be coming your way in just a wee bit. Actually, they got a fair amount of time left to get the ice resurfaced. Sections for Northfield begin on Tuesday, February 17th. For Owatonna, sections begin on the 19th of February. Again, looking at the Big Nine Conference standings coming into tonight, Northfield 10-0. They have an 18-2 overall record. Again, they're rated number 7 in the state in Class A in boys hockey. The girls are rated number 18 in Class AA. Owatonna Huskies are 9-2 in the Big Nine. They have 18 total points. They're 13-8 overall in the season. Sandwiched in between them on the standings here, Mankato West with a 9-1 conference mark. They are tied with Owatonna with 18 points. They're 14-5-2 on the season. Again, Owatonna does play against Mankato West on Tuesday. That'll be a big game there, too, in addition to this one for the Huskies. They really need to win this if they want any chance of winning the Big Nine. I shouldn't say any chance, but you really think that Northfield wins this, they pretty much have a stranglehold on the Big Nine Conference. Both goals are back on the moorings. We'll have your second period face-off coming your way in just
Harley's Auto Salvage has been in business over a half-century, serving people through their Like Magic nationwide parts locator. New and used auto parts. Check out their large supply of new and used tires. 30-day warranty on electronics, 60-day warranty on all motors and transmissions with extended warranties available.
Cody here with Harley's Auto Salvage. Haven't been here in a while? Stop in and check out our drive-thru recycling building. You can recycle your aluminum cans, copper, brass, and metal. And of course, we're always here to help you get that newer used auto part. Harley's Auto Salvage.
Specialty Personnel Services can solve both sides of work-related problems. For employees, they can put you to work in a short period of time with employers that are in need of your skills. For you employers, Specialty Personnel Services has a list of potential employees that have the skill set to excel on your company's team. Don't waste time chasing want ads. Let the professionals work for you. They do specializing in construction and manufacturing jobs. Specialty Personnel Services in Owatonna. Call 451-5773. In Austin, 433-5570.
As a business owner, do you have a game plan in place to stay focused on safety and preventing claims? Let our team help support your business. Federated Insurance offers a customizable lineup of industry-specific coverages and risk management services to help you continue your winning streak. At Federated Mutual Insurance Company, it's our business to protect yours. Rated A+ Superior by AM Best Company.
Owatonna Auto Clinic has the cure when that check engine light comes on. Let the car doctors get to work diagnosing the issue with a prescription to get it back on the road fast. The experts at Owatonna Auto Clinic will diagnose the issue, fixing only what needs to be repaired. That's how they've earned their reputation for honesty. They handle routine service too, like brakes and suspension work. The vehicle prescriptions always at Owatonna Auto Clinic, 902 Hoffman Drive. Check out OwatonnaAutoClinic.com.
Fairway Meat and Grocery in Owatonna is a proud sponsor of all area athletics. Are you ready for your game day party? From USDA choice steaks and fresh produce to snacks and delicious meat and cheese trays, Fairway has everything you need to fuel your crew. Shop online for easy curbside pickup or check out their weekly ad in store. They're open Monday through Saturday, 8 a.m. to 9 p.m. for all your grocery needs. Good luck to all area athletics from Fairway Owatonna.
All right, let's get this second period underway. This period, the Raiders will be going right to left and the Huskies left to right on your radio dial. Again, we're across the benches in the corner of the rink here at the Northfield Ice Arena. At mid-ice, they drop the puck and controlled by the Owatonna Huskies. The Huskies going to try and break it out of their zone. Cross-rink pass. They come to the near side. Puck at neutral ice is sent back in. Northfield. Kennelly has it behind the goal of the Ringhofer net-minded goal for Owatonna. Winter is in goal on the other end of the rink in this second period as Owatonna sends it down. On the power play is Owatonna. It's a 3-2 game as the Raiders, short-handed, bring it across the blue line. Keeping tabs on it is Stewart. Stewart in a centering pass. Oh, and a terrific pass that time to Riley. He was not able to get the goal. As one of the Husky got knocked into and knocked down, Ringhofer, the goalie, ended up on his derriere. It was a great pass, though, from Stewart to Riley. 16:08 to go. Just a greater save that time by Ringhofer. Face off to the left of Ringhofer in the Owatonna zone. Here's a shot from the side. They were hoping for a rebound, but none was given. Henry Weber was the man who took the shot for Owatonna, for Northfield. As the Raiders slap it back into the neutral ice, there's a shot wide by Owatonna. Again, they're on the power play for another 40 seconds. Down by a 3-2 score are the Huskies. Gaining control in the corner, or trying to anyway, is Jace Lane, a sophomore. There's a shot that goes wide from just below the blue line. That was taken by Zach Ressner. Ressner will pass it to his left. Here's a shot, and it's knocked down and gloved by Winter. 15:18 to go here in the second period. 19 seconds left of the power play. The Wazlowski penalty, which happened right at the end of the first period. So the first 2 minutes of this period, Owatonna on a power play. We'll have a face-off to the right of Winter in the Northfield zone. Won by Owatonna. Here's a shot. It didn't get through. Puck is behind the net. Keeping tabs on it is Winter. And we're 6 seconds away from being an even strength as Kennelly brings it in, and that will be even strength. 14:59 to go. Owatonna brings it up the rink and sends it back in. Here's a shot. It goes wide with 14:50 to go in the second period. Even strength, 3-2. Northfield leads it. Each team has a power play goal in this game as the Raiders bring it across neutral ice. Kennelly brings it across the blue line, sends it behind the net, keeps tabs of it, does Benjamin. Benjamin will send it across to Riley, who's coming down. There's a pad save there by Benjamin. Shooting from straight on, or not straight on, but from the side that time was Riley. Here's a score by Northfield. Benjamin scores. Even strength goal. He had an assist earlier. Stewart up his third assist of the game, and it's 4-2 Northfield. As Owatonna finds themselves down by 2 goals. It's the first 2-goal lead by either team. Game started with Northfield scoring 18 seconds into the game. A little over, right around the 4-minute mark, Owatonna scored 7 seconds into a power play to tie it up at 1 apiece. They then went ahead 2-1. Northfield tied at 2-2. And then Northfield scored a goal late in the first period to take a 3-2 lead into the intermission report. And now, not quite 4 minutes into the second period, they scored their fourth goal of the game. Been a high-scoring game for the two of the top three defensive teams in the Big Nine Conference. As Owatonna comes across neutral ice, bringing it across the blue line that time for the Huskies. To the left of Winter was Zach Ressner, the sophomore. As Owatonna will send it back into the Northfield zone. Wyatt Macy is a senior, and he's a big boy. Puck now rings the board and trying to send it back the other way as Northfield's a shot from just below the blue line by Macy. Macy keeping tabs at that blue line with 12.5 minutes to go in the period. The other defenseman is Jace Lane. As Northfield gets it back into the Husky zone here, Macy's going to go back and help out Ringhofer. Big fella that can knock some bodies out of there. The puck is on the near side board where we can't see it. It's sent to the center of the rink. Northfield's going to bring it into the Owatonna zone. Here's a centering pass coming to the opposite side. They had a nice play on that time, trying to get it to Gilbertson on the near side pipe. It was sent from the other side, but he couldn't get it on his stick. 11:44 to go. 4-2. Northfield leads it. They've scored the only goal so far of this period. It was 5 goals scored total in the first period. Northfield with 3 of them. Shots are now 15-14 in favor of the Raiders. Puck behind the Owatonna net. There's a shot, and it goes wide by Kennelly, who already has 2 goals. He's looking for a hat trick. Puck goes the other side board. Picked up by Owatonna. Nice diagonal pass. Bringing it back into the Northfield zone is Owatonna's Isaac Mobley. He's a senior. Now Northfield gains control, comes up the near side with the puck, and we're going to have an icing call on the Raiders. 11 minutes, 3 seconds to go in this second period. 4-2, Northfield leads it. Well, I misspoke. We're going to have a penalty, a cross check on Owatonna, and Northfield's going to go on the power play. So Northfield can really take a commanding lead here. They're already up by 2 goals. Stewart sends it cross rink. They go to the point. Shot is a pad save. It did get through, taken by Riley. 10:44 to go in this second period. And a 4-2 Northfield lead. They have 1:37 left in their power play. They already have 1 power play goal. And here come the Raiders. Bringing it across the blue line is Kennelly. He skates all the way to the other side. Whiteman has it. The circle to the right. There's a shot, and Riley's shot is knocked down and gloved by Ringhofer. From the left. His glove side. 10 minutes, 12 seconds to go in the period. It's now 16-14 shots on goal in favor of Northfield. Of a face-off to the left of Ringhofer. Controlled by Northfield. They send it across rink. Again, trying to get Ringhofer to move and get out of position. There's a shot that's knocked aside the stick of Ringhofer. He pushes another one aside that comes by him. Benjamin has it at the blue line. Sends it. Here's a shot. That's going to go wide. That was taken by Ashton Pumper, one of the defensemen for the Raiders. 47 seconds left in the Northfield power play. If they get a goal here, they'd have a 3-goal lead. They're up 5-2. 9:50 to go in the second period. Face off to the right of Ringhofer in the red circle. Benjamin for Northfield. And Caleb Ringhofer, the junior, for Owatonna. Northfield. Benjamin skates through the slot. There's a shot from below the blue line. Pushed to the left by the Owatonna Huskies. 9 minutes, 34 seconds to go in this period. They just can't get over all the people walking around here. There's a game going on. Nobody's watching the game. 9 minutes, 34 seconds. They're getting up and going to concessions, I guess. Yeah, you usually don't have a crowd if you go when they're playing, do you? Whiteman has it. He'll send it even with Ringhofer. Whiteman has it again. Back, stepping in is Stewart. There's a flurry right in front of the net. Ringhofer was to the task that time. Stewart went right to the doorstep. And we're going to have, I think, another penalty here. This is going to be on, I think it'll be on the Raiders. I think it might be a cross-check on Becker. We'll see here. Maybe not. There's 5 seconds left of the power play, and I guess there was no penalty. We'll have a face-off just above the Owatonna blue line. And it was controlled by nobody. Owatonna ended up with it. Sent it back the other way, and there's even strength here. So Owatonna's Macy gets control and sends it back to the other end of the rink. We'll have an icing call on the Huskies. Face-off will be to the right of Ringhofer, right below us here in the red circle in the Owatonna zone. Looks like Oliver Benjamin is in the face-off circle. Went up against Sam Munson, the sophomore for Owatonna. Owatonna had control of it for an instant. Now they ring the board to the near side. Poking it ahead that time for Owatonna's Cameron Molina, the junior. At neutral ice come the Raiders. Benjamin nearly loses his balance. From the left of Ringhofer is the puck. It's at the blue line, sent back in. Macy trying to gain control of it. Comes to the near side. Tries to ring the board. It comes back to Northfield. Here's a pass. Well, that was a nice cross-rink pass. Stanford couldn't get it on his stick, though, as it hits the pipe on the near side. Ringhofer was right there. From the blue line, it's sent back to the near side. They're going to shoot, and it's going to be knocked away. I don't know if that was on goal. 17-14 shots in favor of Northfield now. They're up 4-2 with 7:56 to go in the second period. As flipping it back toward the Northfield zone is Gavin Fitch, the sophomore defenseman for Owatonna. We had a Husky and a Raider bump into each other right in front of the Northfield net that time. No worse for the wear. On the far side board is the puck. It drifts to the corner, picked up that time by Northfield. Is coming out of there with it. With the Raiders. And we're going to have a stoppage of play here again on an icing call. Seven minutes, 19 seconds to go. We'll have a face-off to the left of Winter. The red circle. Zach Klecker, the junior, was in there for Owatonna. I could not tell who was in there for Northfield. I got a lot of bodies in front of me. We're in the corner of the rink. Not exactly ideal vantage point, but we're not going to complain. Here's a shot and a score by Owatonna. Owatonna scores with 7:02 to go here in the second period. Not quite 10 minutes into it. It's 4-3 now. Northfield leads. Well, I didn't hear that again. They speak lowly when the opponent scores, and they get excited when their own team scores, right? 4-3 is our score. Northfield still has the lead with 6:13 to go as the stick got caught up in the netting here below us. As Northfield trying to gain back that goal they just gave up. There's a centering pass. Puck is right in the slot. Here's a shot wide in the Owatonna zone. Kennelly skated diagonally toward the net. Ringhofer staying back in the net. As the puck is on the near side. Kennelly trying to get control. There's a rebound, but Owatonna, or I should say Northfield, was not able to score. Benjamin was there. Philip Benjamin. There's a Philip Benjamin and an Oliver Benjamin. 5 minutes, 35 seconds to go in this second period. It's 4-3. Very high-scoring game. Not what I expected. Like I said, two of the best teams in the conference in terms of defense. As they drop the puck and the face-off is controlled by Owatonna. Here's a shot and a save. Right in the midsection of Winter. Owatonna's had a few nice face-offs where they get it and get a quick shot off the face-off. Gavin Fitch is in the circle for Owatonna. I can't see who the Raider is. In there on the far end of the rink. And, of course, they don't have numbers on the front of their uniforms, which I've never understood. As the puck ends up at the blue line. Now it's back in the Northfield zone. 5:15 to go in the period. It's 4-3 Northfield. The Raiders come up, and we're going to have an offside on Northfield. So on the offside, we'll have a face-off at neutral ice. Just above the Owatonna blue line. Looks like Zach Klecker will be in there for Owatonna, and he was going up against Benjamin, who won it and sent it to the near side. That was Oliver Benjamin. We have another whistle. And we'll have a face-off to the right of Ringhofer in the Owatonna zone. Benjamin was going up against Klecker. Puck ends up in the Northfield zone with 4:52 to go. 4-3 is our score. Each team has scored a goal in this game, in this second period. It was 3-2 Northfield after the first period. Shots on goal are now 19-17 in favor of the Raiders as they lift the puck up and set it back behind the net. Tracking it down for Owatonna is Gavin Fitch. Pitch sent it to a teammate in the Owatonna zone. It was pinched back in as Benjamin got to it. There's a shot goes wide to the near side. Trying to gain control is Northfield. Trying to skate out of there with it was Zach Ressner. As Northfield now gains control in their zone. Coming on a bit of a breakaway. Here's a shot and it's high. Charlie Becker might see that one in his sleep tonight. He was coming in. Then he got a little excited and shot high into the netting behind the goal. Get some encouragement from his teammate Riley, a co-captain on this Northfield team. We'll have a face-off to the right of Ringhofer with 4:02 to go in the period. Face-off was controlled by, well, nobody really. Near side, Northfield ends up with it, sends it wide. That was Weber. Husky base is trying to come back there and help out his teammate. Wyatt Macy, the senior. As I said, he's a big guy. Gonna have another whistle stoppage here. 3 minutes, 38 seconds to go in this second period. It's 4-3 Northfield. They led 3-2 after the first period. Had a chance to get a 3-goal lead. They went on a power play, but Owatonna has the best penalty kill coming in tonight in the Big Nine. Effectively killed off that power play. Face off to the left of Ringhofer over Owatonna. And they're battling for it right below us here. Whiteman unable to come up with it that time for the Huskies. And here's a score by Owatonna. They just tied the game, ladies and gentlemen. We got a tie game at 4. Incredible. High scoring affair this is. Caleb Ringhofer got the goal, the junior. And he was assisted by Grady Roush, a classmate. And with 2:45 to go, we're tied at 4. It wasn't that long ago, and the Raiders had a 2-goal lead. Well, these teams have been going up and down, high-flying hockey. Here's a shot from just below the blue line. It was turned aside by Winter, who gloved it. After a rebound, it kind of caught it up in the air. It was shot from the blue line by Macy. Now on the rink is Josiah Thompson for a sophomore defenseman for the Huskies. Well, the face-off to the left of Winter in the red circle. For Owatonna, it'll be Sam Munson, the sophomore. And now they send him out. And going in his stead is Isaac Mobley, the senior. Northfield trying to break out of their zone. They get it neutralized. Little back pass comes to the near side. Shot deflected. Shot was taken that time by Northfield's Ashton Pumper. Owatonna comes flying up the rink. Left to right on your radio dial. The Raiders right to left. Puck was in the air. It's poked back toward Northfield, picked up by the Raiders. They send it back behind the net, giving chase Owatonna. Ooh, Owatonna mishandled the puck and ended up right by the net. That was almost danger time for the Owatonna Huskies. Coming flying back by the net, and he mishandled the puck. I think he misjudged it as it came off the backboard and ended up right by the pipe. We'll have a face-off to the left of Ringhofer. 20-19 shots on goal in favor of Northfield. We're tied at 4 with 1:44 to go in the second period. Gordy Kosfeld here at the KDHL Sports Microphone on KDHL AM Faribault, Minnesota, a Town Square media station, and we got a flurry of activity, but a nice job gloving it by Ringhofer as Northfield trying to bang it in. Right at the doorstep was Whiteman. Christian is a senior, has 8 goals and 12 assists on the season. Of a face-off, and it goes right to the goalie, who just pushes it aside for his teammate. Coming up the rink is Zach Ressner, the sophomore. The puck wobbles into the neutral ice. Gaining control of it is Owatonna. Or they try to. He might have a tripping call here. 1:14 to go. Now one of the Huskies gets held down to the ice at neutral ice by the Raider. And here's oh boy, that goal was pretty open, but they weren't able to get the puck, the Raiders, that time. Weber was coming flying by. Here's a shot that'll be wide. Now a shot hits the backboard, and one of the Huskies is going to be knocked down here with 49 seconds to go in the period. Well, Owatonna's going to go on a power play here. With 49 seconds to go in the period. We have a penalty on Carter Simon. From the blue line, Owatonna sends it. They got 42 seconds left in this period, and if they don't score, they'll start the next period on a power play. There's the Huskies gaining some steam as he comes around the net. Up the near side board was Zach Ressner. Northfield got a shot trying to get a shorthanded goal. Macy sends it up the rink. He'll get it back at neutral ice. Macy dumps it back into the Northfield zone, and he'll go back to the point here. Tied at 4 with 8 seconds left in the period. Again, on the power play is Owatonna. They have 1:15 left in the power play as the puck goes out of play. Macy will take that opportunity to go to the bench for the Huskies. 3.6 seconds left in the second period. Tied at 4 here at the Northfield Ice Arena. Northfield, number 1. Owatonna, number 3 in goals allowed per game in the Big Nine. And we've got a high-flying, up and down the rink, high-scoring game. We're tied at 4 after 2 periods. Northfield scored a goal. Owatonna had 2 goals. Shots are 23-19 in favor of Northfield. So Northfield had 13 shots and only 7 shots by Owatonna, but they got 2 goals on those 7 shots. As our second intermission report will be coming your way next here on the Mighty 920. All of our statistics, the service of the folks who really know their numbers. H&R Block with offices in Owatonna, in Faribault, and in Lakeville. 2 periods in the book. 1:11 left in the power play for Owatonna. We're tied at 4 apiece after 2. As the second intermission report comes your way next. Here on Southern Minnesota's sports leader for nearly 80 years, the mighty 920 KDHL.
Need a workhorse? Get behind the wheel of a Coyote tractor and feel the difference. Built to outwork, outlast, and outperform, Coyote is the name pros trust. Tough terrain, heavy loads, no problem. Coyote was made for this. Don't settle. Power up your property with a Coyote today. Stop in and check out the full line at your local Coyote dealer. Northfield
Minnesota Coaches Incorporated is proud to transport teams, athletes, cheerleaders, and coaches, getting you to the game all season long. Since the 1930s, they've been your trusted full-service charter planner, serving local communities with safe, reliable travel. From private charters and school trips to tour groups, sports teams, and church outings, they've got you covered. Minnesota Coaches Incorporated. Full-service travel with peace of mind. Visit MinnesotaCoaches.com or call 507-334-5121 today.
You train hard. You play harder. Now it's time to level up. The Minnesota Air National Guard isn't just a part-time job, it's a launch pad. Get elite training, real-world experience, and college paid for while staying close to home. You've got the drive. We've got the mission. Call 1-800-835-3764. Your future doesn't wait. Neither do we.
2 periods are completed, and this one's still and down, ladies and gentlemen. Northfield has 4 goals. Owatonna has 4 goals in that second period. Northfield's Phil Benjamin scored his 10th goal of the season. Not quite 3 minutes into the period. He was assisted by Michael Stewart, who picked up his 3rd assist of the game, his 44th point of the season, and his 31st assist of the year. Then Owatonna scored. I did not catch who got that one, unfortunately. Owatonna then scored with just over 3 minutes to go in the period. A Ringhofer goal. Caleb Ringhofer. Caleb on the season. Picked up his 8th goal of the year. Got to write this in my score sheet here. His 8th goal of the season. He was assisted by Rausch. Grady Rausch picks up his 11th assist of the year. And that tied things up at 4 apiece. Again, after 2 periods, 23 shots on goal for Northfield. 10 in the first, 13 in the second. Owatonna has 19 total shots. 12 in the first and 7 in the second. All of our statistics, a service of H&R Block with offices in Faribault, Owatonna, and Lakeville. And H&R Block, they know taxes. Tomorrow night I'll have a great boys high school basketball game. The Zumbrota Mazeppa Cougars at the Cannon Falls Bombers and the Bombers hangar in Cannon Falls. Last time those two teams played, they played in Mazeppa. It was an overtime win. That's right, an overtime win by Zumbrota Mazeppa. So we should have a really good game tomorrow night on these airwaves. We'll get underway about 7 o'clock right here on the mighty 920 KDHL. 920 on your AM dial, 97.9 FM, and worldwide on the absolutely free KDHL app. Tied at 4 after 2 periods. the deciding third period coming your way next. We're several minutes away from that as the Minnesota Orthodontics Zamboni is prepping the ice here at the Northfield Ice Arena. This arena is absolutely, literally packed to the rafters, standing room only. Here, I feel a little guilty because I've kind of taken up 3 seats with my equipment here in the crowd, but I don't know what else to do. If I would have sat at the top at a table, they do have tables here, I wouldn't have been able to see anything. And I mean anything. You're elevated, but you're not elevated enough, and you got to look through a lot of bodies. Where I'm at, it's probably one of the better vantage points in terms of being able to see the end of the rink. It's not mid-ice, it's at the corner of the rink, but at least I can see something. As we're tied at 4 after 2 periods here today. Again, the Owatonna Huskies' next game is Saturday at 1 o'clock. They travel to Red Wing. They host Mankato West on Tuesday, a drop of the puck of 7. They will travel to Hopkins to end their regular season next Thursday. Sections start for the Huskies on the 19th of February. Of course, 4 seasons is the first couple of rounds of the sections, and the section final is played on the 26th at the Rochester Rec Center. They are in Section 1AA. In Section 1A is Northfield. They play at Faribault Saturday night at 7:15. They travel to Rochester Mayo on Tuesday at 7. They finish their conference season at home against Albert Leaf next Thursday, and their final regular season game is on Valentine's Day. That's right, next Saturday. Not this Saturday, but next Saturday. They travel to Delano. Boy, should that be a game. In this week's rankings, Northfield is rated number 7 in Class A, and Delano is rated number 6. Of course, the Northfield girls are also in the rankings in Class AA. They are rated number 18. That's where they were a week ago. They did not gain and they did not fall, the Northfield Raider ladies. So again, the Raiders will finish off their season on the road at Delano on Valentine's Day. Great tune-up for their sections. Their sections begin on Tuesday, February 17th. They resume on the 19th. They'll also have games on the 21st, and their championship is on the 25th. And I believe they play their section final, if I'm not mistaken, and I could be mistaken. I've been mistaken many times in my life, in Owatonna at the Four Seasons Arena. There's a Zamboni getting the ice prep for the final period of this one. I thought this would be an outstanding game. I honestly did not think we'd see this many goals scored, as Northfield came into this game number 1 in the fewest goals allowed, number 1 in the fewest goals scored, and Owatonna came into this game 7th out of 11 teams in the Big Nine in scoring goals per game, and they were number 1 on the penalty kill and number 3 in goals allowed per game. So you have 2 of the top 3 defensive teams in terms of goals allowed per game. That's frankly the only stat that I think tells you what it is, right? It's all about scoring goals. That's what the game, the object of the game is, to score goals. We're tied at 4 after 2 periods. Zamboni's completed doing its thing. They're putting the nets back on their moorings. And we'll be getting underway here in just a wee little bit with the third and final period in this one. We'll have Owatonna coming on my end of the rink and Northfield going the opposite end. Again, we're situated across from the benches and the scorers table across the ice. There are no stands on that side of the rink. On my side, I'm literally in the stands, in the corner, like little Jack Horner. Only I don't have any pie. Great crowd on hand here tonight. Those standing room only. They're ringing around the boards on both ends of this rink. And you would expect that, right? Both these teams follow their teams well. Big Nine Conference on the line. Owatonna, if they should happen to win, would pull into a tie with Northfield in the conference lead. Again, they go by points, even though Northfield is 10-0 and Owatonna is 9-2 in conference play. They go by points scored in the league. 20 for Northfield, 18 for Owatonna coming into this one. Mankato West also sits with 18 points. The only two other teams with double-digit points, 12 each, are Albert Lee and Mankato East. By the way, 6 teams in the Big Nine have double-digit wins on the season. Winona has a winning record. Mankato East has double-digit wins. They're a couple games under 500. It's kind of the haves and the have-nots in the Big Nine Conference right now. Northfield, the only team with 20 points or better. They're at 20 points. Mankato West and Owatonna are tied at 18 each. West has a 9-1 conference mark. Owatonna is 9-2 in conference play. And you hear the buzzer saying, let's get this third period underway. The Northfield Raiders have hit the ice. Owatonna Huskies will be next.
Specialty Personnel Services can solve both sides of work-related problems. For employees, they can put you to work in a short period of time with employers that are in need of your skills. For you employers, Specialty Personnel Services has a list of potential employees that have the skill set to excel on your company's team. Don't waste time chasing want ads. Let the professionals work for you. They do specializing in construction and manufacturing jobs. Specialty Personnel Services in Owatonna. Call 451-5773. In Austin, 433-5570.
All right, let's get this third and final period underway, shall we? Don't forget Valentine's date night on Valentine's at J-Mo's Bowl in Faribault. The number to call for your reservation, 507-323-8228. That's 507-323-8228. You get a 16-ounce prime rib, roasted potatoes, veggie, and dinner roll for $29.95. What a great deal that is. Over at J-Mo's Bowl in Faribault, where you always strike a great meal. Gordy Kosfeld here at the KDHL Sports microphone as we get ready to start this final period. Face off at neutral ice. In the center of the rink, the puck is dropped, and Owatonna, remember, is on the power play for 1:08. They had control for an instant. It squirts back into the corner to the left of Ringhofer, and here comes Owatonna to try and set up their power play. Pass comes just below the blue line. There's a shot, and it's score by the Huskies. They just took the lead. "19 seconds into the period. Three unanswered goals by the Huskies. Macy, the big defenseman, got the go-ahead goal. It's 5-4 Owatonna, and that's a power play goal by the Huskies, their second power play goal of the night. So the Raiders have got some catching up to do. They're down 5-4 with 16-16 to go in regulation. Puck is in the Northfield zone. Rings behind the net. Riley giving chase for the Raiders. Giving chase for the Owatonna Huskies that time was Ryan Lewis, a sophomore. Raiders will bring a new face on the ice as Carter Simon hits the ice. Defenseman for the Raiders. And we got an icing call here on Owatonna. Face off in the Owatonna zone. 5-4 is our score with 15:48 to go in regulation. Owatonna leading. Northfield was the number one team in terms of goals allowed per game. Fewest is what I'm trying to say here. Under 2 goals a game, and they've given up 5, and we still have almost 15 and a half minutes to go in the game. So I know Coach Cloud's not going to be real happy. Coach Will, on the other hand, is very happy. Another stoppage and another icing call on Owatonna. Shots are now 25-20 in favor of Northfield, but the score is what counts. It's 5-4 Huskies. They've scored 3 unanswered goals since Owatonna had a 2-goal lead. Face off to the left of Ringhofer, as he now has a 1-goal lead to protect. Puck was smacked back into the Owatonna zone, hit off the backboard. To the left of Ringhofer is the puck. He's trying to keep tabs of it. It goes the other side. Here's a shot from high, and it's turned aside. Just below the blue line that time. Taking a whack at it was Jacob Peters, the defenseman. We'll have a face-off to the left of Ringhofer in the Owatonna zone. 15 minutes, 4 seconds to go in regulation. Here's another shot, and it's covered up by Ringhofer. That was right at the crease that time. Taken by Christian Whiteman. Face-off to the left of Ringhofer again. It's sent right back to the net, and he gloves that one. Right off the face-off. 14:55 to go. It's 5-4 Owatonna. To the left of Ringhofer. He's staying down low as Owatonna trying to bring it up the rink. They do. They just pushed it into the Northfield zone. Huskies trying to gain control. Sent it back to the point. It's sent wide of the net by Macy, who scored the go-ahead goal earlier in this period. Actually, it was just seconds into the period. Owatonna started the period on the power play. We've had 6 total penalties called in this game. 4 on Northfield and 2 on Owatonna. Face off to the left of the Northfield netminder Winter. Sent back to the backboard, comes to the near side. Owatonna has the 5-4 lead. They would love to get a stranglehold on. Well, I shouldn't say stranglehold. Northfield had a 2-goal lead in the second period and went bye-bye. As Owatonna has scored 3 unanswered goals in this game. Puck rings the board. Raiders on the near side. Simon says, I need the puck. As unable, there's a turnover. Owatonna sends it wide. He's about even with the net when he shot the puck that time for Owatonna with Sam Munson. Puck comes back into the Northfield zone. You can't score if you don't have the puck, and you can't score if you don't have the puck in the Owatonna zone if you're Northfield. So Owatonna's going to continue to just keep dumping that puck back here in the Raider zone when they get the opportunity. Hard work on the near side board that time by Owatonna's Jackson Taft, the senior. And back in that net was Winter. Try and cover all holes. And we got a stoppage of play here as the puck goes out of play. Actually, I think they're going to call an icing on Northfield. So the face-off will be in the red circle to the right of Winter. We are in the Northfield zone, literally. As winning that face-off, Stewart was in there for Northfield, and Grady Roush for Owatonna. Roush won that one. Stewart will send it across rink to his mate. Now Peters has it. An angle pass. Kennelly can't catch up with it. He's got a couple of goals in this game, looking for a hat trick. Breaking out of the zone. Owatonna has it for an instant. Northfield gets it back. Going down on the ice to block it was Owatonna's Kath with 12:37 to go in regulation. Puck's going to end up coming back to the Northfield zone. Riley goes back to retrieve it, sends it at mid-ice, and bring it back into the Owatonna Husky zone. There's a centering pass, and it did not get all the way through. Now the puck comes back into the Northfield zone, and it's sent all the way down the rink. They wave off an icing call. With 12:07 to go, 5-4 Owatonna leads. Owatonna trying to crawl into a tie. If they win this game, they'll have 20 points in the Big Nine, just like Northfield does. As we have another stoppage of play on an icing call, and we'll have a face-off in the Owatonna zone. Northfield in dire need of a goal to tie it. And the 2 goals to win. Owatonna wants to hang on to this 5-4 lead. They wouldn't mind adding on to it either. Coming flying up, but losing control of the puck that time for the Huskies was Braden Spindler, a sophomore. Northfield sends it back the other way. Here's a shot, and Bad kicks it aside. Shot was taken that time by Northfield's Henry Weber. Puck comes back into the Northfield zone. Owatonna, a little back shot. It's picked right off his stick by Carter Simon of Northfield, who went back the other way as the puck's now in the Owatonna zone to the left of Ringoffer. Raiders will make a shift change here. Hitting the ice is Jacob Peters. And we'll have another icing call on the Owatonna Huskies. As I said before, just want to keep it out of their zone, keep the pressure off their goalie. 11:10 to go, it's 5-4. Owatonna leads. They win this game. They end up in a tie with Northfield for first place in the Big Nine. It would be their 10th win. Northfield's undefeated. They have 10 wins. Cross-rink pass, Northfield. Angles up the near side board. From the far side, that gets, of course, Ringoffer to move from side to side. 10:46 to go. 5-4 Owatonna. Huskies bring it in. Hard check by Peters of the Husky. It was a clean hit as Kennelly goes in, shoots from the side, but ends up being a rebound, but no harm, no foul, and we're going to have a stoppage here as the puck goes out of play. Ten minutes, 25 seconds to go. It's 29-22 shots on goal in favor of Northfield, but they're down 5-4. The Huskies have scored 3 unanswered goals. Their netminder, Ringoffer, has been to the task. Has not allowed a goal in the first nearly 7 minutes of this period. After the first period, Northfield led 3-2. We're tied at 4 going into this period. Owatonna has the only goal of the period. As the Raiders gain control in their own zone, send it cross-rink pass On the near side, it's sent back into the Northfield zone. Trying to get it back up the rink for Northfield was Carter Simon. Simon gains control of the puck, sends it up the rink. Owatonna ends up with it at neutral ice. The Huskies will try to set up shop here in the Northfield zone. Try and get that insurance goal here. As the puck ended up in somebody's uniform and dropped out right in front of us. And ended up with it that time by Owatonna was Jackson Calf. Coming out of the net that time was Winter to save it for his teammate. That was precarious because there was a Owatonna Husky Calf giving chase 2 behind the net. 9 minutes to go in this game in regulation anyway. We're sitting with a 5-4 Owatonna lead. I was going to say if it ends up in a tie, you have an interesting dilemma there. Because you'd only end up with 1 point. A tie does not help Owatonna. Well, it helps their cause, but they don't pull into a tie with Northfield if it ends up in a tie. 8 minutes, 39 seconds to go. It's 5-4 Owatonna. This night started with Northfield celebrating 50 years of hockey. And they had a lot of people out on the ice. The current team took pictures with all those people on the ice, and you almost got the sense, and I think I said during the broadcast that I'm sure Coach Cloud, it's kind of like homecoming week or something. You get a lot of distractions. Northfield came into this game with 4 shutouts total. 2 by Owatonna. This is far from a shutout. 5-4. Huskies lead it. 8 minutes, 10 seconds to go. Nobody really has control of the puck. Now Northfield skating in their zone, and a little back pass got deflected as he was just getting ready to pull the trigger that time. It was Northfield. As the puck is at neutral ice, sent back into the Owatonna zone. Giving chase is Michael Stewart. He's got 3 assists in this game. 7:43 to go. Again, sent aside, pushed aside by Ringhofer. Owatonna fans are making some noise. And Husky's going to go in the penalty box. Well, maybe not. Yeah, he is. It's Isaac Mobley, a senior. Well, if you're Northfield, you need to score on this power play. 7 minutes, 32 seconds to go. If you're the Huskies, you are the number 1 penalty kill team in the Big Nine. Cross rink pass. Owatonna brings it back into the Northfield. Scores! 16 seconds into the power play. Kennelly gets the hat trick. That's a power play goal. And we're tied at 5 with 7 minutes and 20 seconds to go in regulation. Face off at mid-ice. They drop the puck. Kennelly has his hat trick. There were some hats thrown on the ice right behind us here. As the puck rings the board to the far side. The Raiders almost had a turnover here right in front of us. As Owatonna's Braden Spindler nearly got the puck. Huskies trying to break down Northfield here. The Raiders bring it up into the Owatonna zone. Dumping it back in there is going to be Carter Simon. At neutral ice is the puck as Owatonna brings it. Cross-rink pass picked up. And then it deflected right back to him. That was Jackson Cath. And a glove save by Winter. Coming flying by that time for Owatonna was Zach Klecker, the junior. And the glove save by Winter. 6 minutes, 28 seconds to go in this one. Shots on goal are 30-23 in favor of Northfield. They're going to send the Raider out of the circle here on the face-off. Wazlowski went in the face-off circle. Northfield's going to break it up into the Owatonna zone. Up the far side board is Benjamin. He's to the right of Ringhofer. Was strong with the puck that time. Looked like he might lose it, but ended up staying with it. It's run the puck all the way to the near side. Northfield trying to get somebody perched in that slot. They have somebody there now. He gets knocked aside. And here come the Owatonna Huskies. We're tied at 5. And a fanning on a check that time was Northfield. The Husky did a nice job in the very last instant to move so he couldn't get a clean hit. As Owatonna sends it to the near side board. Just below the blue line. It's sent off the backboard. Shot taken that time by Grady Roush. Both teams are going to be going for broke here with 5:23 to go and a 5-5 score. Again, if Northfield wins, they pretty much, you would think, would have control of the Big 9 Conference title. They do have a couple of conference games remaining. They play Faribault there Saturday night. They play Mayo next week. And they close out their season with Albert Lee here at home. Next 2 games are on the road. Shot wide by Owatonna at about the blue line. Again was taken by Grady Roush. 5 minutes to go in this game. Simon has it. And loses it at mid-ice. Tries to regain possession. It's sent back the other way. Northfield coming out of there with it. Come flying up the rink that time for the Northfield Raiders was Philip Benjamin. Now the puck to the left of Ringhofer in the corner. Northfield trying to gain control. Owatonna likewise. It's sent up the rink, and Owatonna's going to have another icing call. 4 minutes, 34 seconds to go in regulation. We're tied at 5 apiece. We thought this would be a really good hockey game, but I honestly thought it was going to be a defensive affair. It's anything but. We're tied at 5. Face off that time was controlled by the Huskies initially. Now Northfield gains control. Riley sends it over the goal from neutral ice, and it goes out of play. Well, both teams got to be a little careful here. 4:22 to go. You don't want to give up a power play here if you can help it. Center ice, they drop the puck. Almost ended in a turnover. Nice quick job that time by Northfield to get back on that puck by Jacob Peters. Almost got behind him, and he just did a nice job of getting it back. Now Owatonna brings it into the Northfield zone. Riley takes it right off the stick of Owatonna's Braden Spindler. Here's an interception of a pass at mid-ice. Coming back the other way, the Raiders ended up behind the net with the puck. Was Northfield's Jacob Peters. The Raiders trying to set something up here. The shot going a little high. Remember, they got him top shelf earlier over the shoulder of Ringhofer. Was one of the goals by Northfield. They're going to send it back to the Raiders zone. 3 minutes and 22 seconds to go. We'll see if either of these coaches feels like gambling and pulling their goalie to try and get an extra attacker. In the final 3:22, tied at 5. Shots are now 32-23 in favor of Northfield. Well, the face-off to the right of Ringhofer. The official drops the puck. Owatonna ended up with it. It wobbles back into the Northfield zone. They're going to call it icing on Owatonna. 3 minutes and 14 seconds to go. Winter takes a little jaunt out of his net. For the Raiders, both goalies have given up 5 goals in this one. Face off to the right of Ringhofer. Sent up the near far side board. Getting on his horse, getting back. Nice little back pass that time. Was the Northfield Raider. It's sent back to the other end of the rink. Trying to gain possession is Philip Benjamin behind the net. Nobody to center it to, though. As Owatonna comes out of their zone with it. Keeping possession of the puck, ringing it. And all of a sudden the puck ended up behind the net. And I don't know if he realized that, but Ryan Lewis was there for Owatonna. Near side board. There's a shot and it's wide. Good on the move shot from high in the slot, but went wide of the goal by Owatonna. Macy scored one earlier from the blue line. 2 minutes and 12 seconds to go in this one. Northfield trying to get in scramble mode here. Riley has the puck behind him. It's sent back into the zone by Stewart, who has 3 assists in this game. Kennelly has a hat trick for the Raiders. Puck is it's now in the Raiders zone. Riley gains control with 1:50 to go. Comes skating up the rink, gets it to his teammate, gets it back at the center of the ice, and shoots it wide with 1:43 to go. Trying to gain control are the Raiders. The Huskies are going to bring it into their zone, dump it back, and it's gloved, and then putting it down on the ice is Winter. Shot was taken just below the blue line by Owatonna's Gavin Fitch. Well, the face-off of the red circle to the right of Winter with 91 seconds to go in this one. Benjamin going up against Klecker. Puck ends up on the near side board. Benjamin trying to gain control along with Wozlowski and a Husky. Can't see his number here on the near side board. It was Zach Ressner. Here comes Northfield in the zone. There's a shot that's sent wide. With 1 minute to go in this game, a push pass into the corner by Northfield. Raiders want to see if they can't set something up. Owatonna strong with the puck, bringing it up, sending it back deep for the Huskies was Klecker. Zach Klecker went to the far corner with 46 seconds to go. Looking to bring it up is Benjamin. Riley has the puck in neutral ice with 38 seconds to go. Brings it into the Owatonna zone. Benjamin trying to track it behind the net. Got checked up against the board. Puck off the far side board. We got a little bit of a breakaway here by Owatonna. A nice pass, but he ends up losing his feet with 20 seconds to go. Right on the doorstep that time was Caleb Ringhofer. He's got a goal in this game, but he had his feet taken out from under him. just as he was getting ready to pull the trigger, we got a Raider down on the ice as Ringhofer gloves the puck with 12 and a half seconds to go in regulation. Tied at 5. Face-off will be to the right of Ringhofer with 11 seconds. Owatonna. Team will have a 3-minute overtime. Both teams are strategizing here. As we're tied at 5 apiece going to overtime. Well, I had a feeling this might go to overtime. I wasn't so sure that it was going to be this high scoring, though. Tied at 5 apiece. In that third period, Macy scored for Owatonna on a power play. And Kennelly scored for Northfield on a power play. Macy's goal was assisted by Grady Roush. I believe it was his second assist to this game, his 12th of the season. Kennelly got his hat trick, and I did not hear who the assist went to on that goal. So we get ready to head to overtime, ladies and gentlemen, with our score tied at 5 apiece. That overtime period will be over in a blink. It's only 3 minutes long. And we'll see what happens. Thanks to H&R Block, Owatonna, Faribault, and Lakeville for bringing you all of our
Finding health insurance doesn't have to be stressful. For 35 years, Beth Fanning-Hange at Fanning & Associates has been helping people navigate their problems with confidence. Beth takes the time to truly get to know her clients, meeting in person, not leaving you on hold, or handing your information off to strangers. She'll compare plans from multiple providers to find the best fit for your needs. And if you just want to know whether you're paying too much, she'll review that too. Call Beth at Fanning & Associates in downtown Dodge Center. Your consultation is free.
Fairway Meat and Grocery in Owatonna is a proud sponsor of all area athletics. Are you ready for your game day party? From USDA choice steaks and fresh produce to snacks and delicious meat and cheese trays, Fairway has everything you need to fuel your crew. Shop online for easy curbside pickup or check out their weekly ad in store. They're open Monday through Saturday, 8 a.m. to 9 p.m. for all your grocery needs. Good luck to all area athletics from Fairway Owatonna.
Well, we get a drop of the puck at mid-ice, and the overtime, 8 minutes, I think I said 3 minutes, 8 minutes, is underway. 3 minutes is what they initially had on the board, and then they said, no, this is 8 minutes. Okay. A rolling puck comes into the Owatonna zone. Owatonna is on my end of the rink here in the overtime, and Owatonna will be going away from me, left to right on your radio dial. The Raiders right to left. As the Raiders trying to gain control. Huskies likewise. It ends up being deflected a few times. The puck is at neutral ice. A couple of Raiders hit the ice We're tied at 5 here in overtime. As the Raiders try to ring the puck around and all the way to the other end, it'll be an icing call on Northfield. While the face-off to the left of Ringhofer, the netminder for the Owatonna Huskies. Incoming into this game tonight, Owatonna had the number 1 penalty kill in the Big Nine. They've given up a few power play goals in this one. But then you've got one of the top power plays in the conference in Northfield. 7 minutes to go. We're tied at 5. Nobody really in control of that puck right now. Here come the Raiders into the Owatonna zone, and an offside is going to be called as Whiteman brought it in. And Becker kind of has a bewildered look. We'll have a face-off in on the blue line, Owatonna Husky blue line. Red dot just above it. Owatonna's Sam Munson was in the face-off circle, couldn't see the Raiders. Here comes a skate right toward the net of Northfield by Owatonna. And the Husky, talk about being at the doorstep. He was right in the crease and couldn't get the puck on his stick. We're going to have a power play, though, for Owatonna here in the overtime. It's a golden opportunity for the Huskies here. The penalty called on Jacob Peters. We're tied at 5 with 6:25 to go in overtime. 35-25 are the shots on goal. Minute 27 to go in the Husky power play. There's a turnover in the Owatonna zone. Kennelly sends it. He's already got a hat trick wide after he got the turnover. He's going to go off the ice, head to the bench. In his stead is Charlie Becker. We're tied at 5 with 5:40 to go in the overtime. 57 seconds to go in the Northfield penalty. Cross rink pass around the blue line. There's a shot. And it's going to be taken right off his stick. The turnover, and he's going to shoot and go high. That was quite a job that time. You can hear the fans getting excited as Henry Weber just took it right off the stick as he was going to go. Oh my, Macy just absolutely clobbered a Raider at mid-ice, and Macy is a big boy. 5 minutes and 3 seconds to go. We're tied at 5. There's a shot and a glove save by Northfield's Winter. 4 minutes, 59 seconds to go in the overtime. 20 seconds to go in the power play. So the face-off to the right. Owatonna trying to set it up from the blue line. The point sent back to the right. They got some screening in front of the goal. There are 5 seconds to go in the power play. Owatonna loses it again, turns it over, and that ends the power play. Kennelly has it, knocked off his stick as he brought it into the Owatonna zone. It goes off the skate. Kennelly back passes it back into the corner of the Owatonna zone. The Raiders trying to gain control with 4:23 to go. Tied at 5. Benjamin giving chase. Kennelly giving chase. The Huskies end up with a puck and send it up the far side board. it was Ryan Lewis who gained control. At mid-ice, it's sent back into the Northfield zone by Lewis after a deflection. Now the puck comes at neutral ice. It's lifted up, sent back into the Owatonna zone. 3:58 to go. Northfield trying to gain control is Benjamin. Benjamin skates to the top, sends it toward the slot. It comes back the other way. Goes wide of the goal. It'll be an icing call on the Huskies. 35-26. Shots on goal in favor of Northfield. All of our statistics, the service of H&R Block with offices in Faribault, Owatonna, and Lakeville. 3 minutes and 47 seconds to go in the overtime. We're tied at 5. Face off to the left of Ringhofer. Benjamin was in the circle for Northfield. And for Owatonna, it was Roush. Nobody really had control of it. Now Northfield does in the Owatonna zone. Cross rink pass sent wide from the point by Riley. Puck ends up in neutral ice. It's picked up there by Peters. They get it at neutral ice. Nice little pass to the left. Gilbertson sends it, and it's gloved by Ringhofer with 3:15 to go in overtime. He just didn't want to let a rebound that was high. I mean, it would not have gone, wasn't really on net. We'll have a face-off to the right of Ringhofer in the Husky zone. Stewart for Northfield. Owatonna ends up winning that one. And for the Huskies, I think it was Roush. As there's a centering pass that ends up nearly in our lap. Benjamin was trying to perch near the net. 2 minutes and 55 seconds to go in this one. Raiders trying to get some pressure on Ringhofer here. End up losing the puck. It comes off the near side board. Sent back to neutral ice. Here come the Raiders across the Owatonna blue line. He has ridden off the puck as Stewart was trying to be strong with it. Comes back to the near side. Riley sends it up off the backboard with 2:27 to go. Trying to settle it on his stick on the far side with the Raider. And Owatonna is just going to send it up the rink. Chasing it down for the Northfield Raiders is Ashton Pumper with 2:12 to go in the overtime. Here comes Riley. He shoots and sends it wide with 2 minutes exactly to go in overtime. The shot comes to the near side as the Raiders certainly getting a lot more pressure on this than Owatonna is. The shot goes over the net by Weber. High in the slot. It was taken with 1:45 to go in this one. We're tied at 5. Shots are now 37-26 in favor of the Raiders. 1 minute, 45 seconds to go in overtime. Tied at 5 with a face-off to the right of Ringhofer. Face-off controlled by, well, nobody. Owatonna is going to try and come out of there with it. Send it up the near side. Weber giving chase for the Owatonna Huskies is Simon, or excuse me, is for the Raiders is Simon. Simon ends up on his knees to the right of Winter. There's 1:22 to go. Puck's at neutral ice. Owatonna circles back into the Raiders zone. Almost losing his stick that time was Zach Klecker as he was trying to bring that puck into the Northfield zone. And then the Raiders are undefeated in the Big Nine. There's a flurry in front of the net. I don't think they called it a goal with 1:03 to go. It'll be a stoppage of play, and Winter will have a save. Tied at 5. Winter gets back up on his feet. Well, somebody's going to take a timeout here. The Huskies are going to take a timeout with 1 minute, 3 seconds to go and try to strategize something. We're tied at 5 apiece here in overtime. If it ends up in a tie, end up a point each, and Northfield will still have a lead in the Big Nine Conference. Tomorrow night I'll have boys basketball action for the Bombers hangar. You're in tune to KDHL-AM in Faribault, Minnesota, a Town Square media station. Gordy Kosfeld here at the KDHL Sports Microphone. We're in overtime in Northfield. Boys hockey action, Big Nine Conference. The undefeated Raiders are hosting the Huskies. Huskies, if they could win this game, would pull into a tie for first place. They go by points. It would be Owatonna's 10th win. Northfield is 10-0 in the conference coming into this game. So both teams have got their instructions. There's 63 seconds to go in the overtime. Owatonna called the timeout. The Raiders are back on the ice waiting for the Huskies. Well, the face-off to the left of Winter, that is his glove hand. With 63 seconds to go in overtime. Tied at 5 apiece. Northfield in the second period had a 2-goal lead at one point. And Owatonna went on a 3-goals-to-none scoring spree to take a lead. Then Owatonna tied it. You had a flurry of activity again. And we'll have another face-off with 55 seconds to go in overtime. Face off to the left of Winter. There's a battle for the puck with 48 seconds to go. It's on the near side board. Owatonna trying to gain control, and Northfield likewise. Riley battling on the backboard behind the net. Owatonna sends it back toward the Macy. Macy sends it back in behind the board. 32 seconds to go. Northfield trying to break out. They do break out of the zone. They're going to bring it across the blue lines, beating up the ice. We've got Macy, who checked him up against the board that time. Peters is coming off. There's a shot that just was near the pipe. 7 seconds to go. Raiders nearly scored. And we're going to have an offside called on Owatonna with 4.2 seconds to go in the overtime. Macy had the hard check of Peters, who crumbled down. Macy's a big boy. We're going to have a face-off to the left in the Owatonna zone of Ringhofer with 4.2 seconds to go in overtime, tied at 5 apiece. And the face-off. He drops the puck. The Raiders can't get control. Owatonna does. He just flips it back to the other end, and that's the overtime. 5-5 is our score. 38-28 shots on goal. 38-28 shots on goal. I forgot to write them at the end of the regulation. So sorry about that. As it ends in a tie, an overtime tie at 5 apiece. We'll wrap things up here for the Northfield Ice Arena right after.
Fairway Meat and Grocery in Faribault is a proud sponsor of all area athletics. Are you ready for your game day party? From USDA choice steaks and fresh produce to snacks and delicious meat and cheese trays, Fairway has everything you need to fuel your crew. Shop online for easy curbside pickup or check out their weekly ad in store. They're open Monday through Saturday, 7 a.m. to 9 p.m. for all your grocery needs. Good luck to all area athletes from Fairway Meat and Grocery in Faribault.
Well, our final score again tonight, 5 apiece in overtime. The Northfield Raiders and the Owatonna Huskies. Northfield is still undefeated in the Big Nine, but they dropped to 10-0-1 in the conference standings. I'm assuming they get a point for the tie, which would give them 21 points. Owatonna drops to 9-2-1. They would gain a point, would have 19 points, and still be 2 points behind Northfield in the Big 9 Conference standings. Again, the Raiders' next game is Saturday at Faribault, a 7:15 drop of the puck. And the Owatonna Huskies will play Saturday afternoon at 1 at Red Wing. The final week of the regular season is next week. Northfield will be at Mayo Tuesday, hosting Albert Lee Thursday, and then they travel to Delano on Valentine's, a 3 o'clock drop of the puck. Their sections begin on the 17th of February. And for the Owatonna Huskies, after the Red Wing game on Saturday, they host Mankato West on Tuesday. It's huge for Owatonna because West is right next to them in the standings. And obviously they want to keep pace with Northfield. And then they close out their season at Hopkins, a drop of the puck of 7 o'clock at night. They start their sections on the 19th of February. Again, we will have boys basketball tomorrow. The Cannon Falls Bombers will be hosting the Zumbrota-Mazeppa Cougars. Last time those two teams met, it was overtime, with Zumbrota-Mazeppa coming out on top in a high-scoring affair in Mazeppa. Hope you enjoyed our broadcast tonight. What a game it was. Northfield 5, Owatonna 5. Till next time, this is Gordy Cosfeld. Thanks again to H&R Block offices in Faribault, Owatonna, and Lakeville for bringing you all of our statistics tonight. Have a great rest of the night.